This is a tiny Lego house. And today I'm going to be building 11 of them. From a level 1 house to a level 100 house. Each one getting bigger, more expensive, more dangerous, more secret, and more cursed. So anyway, let's go. Okay, for our level 1 Lego build, it's actually the world's smallest Lego house. Outside, I built this tiny flower, this doorbell, and this tiny mailbox which can fit a single envelope. And once you enter, you'll find that an actual minifig is living here. First, I built this chair which can also transform into a toilet. In front is this dining table, this puny TV screen, and this tiny kitchen with a sink and food. The house even has a second level. If you climb this ladder, you can sleep in this tiny bed, which is just big enough to fit a minifig. Wow, I think a literal prison cell has more room than this house. Comment if you would rather live here or be homeless. Okay, the next house on our list is the level 10 house, and this time I'm gonna build it somewhere very cold. Because this next house is a tiny frozen igloo you'd find in the middle of the Arctic. I built half of the satisfying ball, which I made using these tiny plates. To enter, you crawl through this tiny hole on the front, and inside is a small room for someone to live. So I built this tiny bed, this table with food, and this small kitchen for someone to cook. This would be the perfect place to survive a winter storm. What happens if we put the sun next to it? Okay, we've now unlocked the level 20 house, but what makes this one special is that it literally moves. So I built this big Lego RV that someone can actually live in. But despite how big the RV is, once you enter, there's literally no space to even walk. So to fix that, I built part of the RV which actually slides out to allow room to walk. So I built this bed, this kitchen, a couch with a table, and a small bathroom with a toilet, sink, and shower. Okay, let's drive off to Legoland. Okay, it's time to build the level 30 Lego base, and for this one, I want it to be extremely secret and somewhere nobody would expect. So to do that, I'm gonna put it inside a literal toilet. Wow, there's actually a lot of space to build in here. So now we can lock in and cook up the base to put inside. And my plan is to build a secret survival shelter. I first added this bed, this wardrobe to put clothes, a couch. I even added a huge TV and a Nintendo Switch to play games. I even built a small kitchen, a dining table with some chairs, some emergency food rations, and some emergency survival weapons. Let's go. We're ready to add the base to our toilet, so let's see if it fits. Oh, let's go. There's no way someone's finding this. Let's go, it still flushes too. Okay, next up is the level 40 Lego house. And this time, I bought this big Lego set made from 600 pieces. Purple stars in the bank, like I'm in free play. Okay, the build is finished, and it's the house from the movie Up. There's this very unk man, this dog, and this squirrel. And the actual house itself is very colorful. Inside is this bed, this clock, this couch, and this music player. The house even has literal balloons attached to it, which means when I let go of it, it should levitate into the sky and fly. Yep, that did not work. So instead, I'm gonna attach actual balloons to the house and make it fly like it does in the movie. So I went to the store and bought their entire supply of balloons. Okay, I think we have enough. And we're gonna attach them one by one until the house lifts off the ground, starting with one balloon. Okay, what about 10 balloons? Okay, 20 balloons. I then tried 30 balloons. Oh, it's starting to lift off the ground. 40 balloons, 50 balloons, 60 balloons. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it's actually about to float. And finally, 70 balloons. Oh, let's go! I swear I'm not touching it. Wow, this is the most unemployed thing I've ever done, but this was definitely worth it. Okay, prepare for a rough landing. Okay, it's time to build the level 50 house, and this time I'm gonna build one that literally floats on water. So I built this huge expensive yacht that only the richest, most famous people in all of Lego City can afford. It has literally 3 levels. On the first level is a bedroom, a kitchen, a dining room, and a private bathroom with its own shower. On the second level is this gaming room with couches and this huge TV screen. And on the third level is where the captain sits and steers the boat. The boat even has a literal slide attached to it, this tiny jet ski which attaches to the back, this small floaty. The boat even has its own hot tub and a literal landing pad for this futuristic drone that can transport minifigs on and off the boat. I built the boat from this huge Lego piece that actually floats, and I even attached this small motor on the bottom which will push the boat forward. So it's time to put this boat in real water and sail off to Legoland. Wow, okay, I think the boat is too tall and it also weighs too much. Okay, we built a house that moves and one in a literal toilet. But next, what if we build a house in space? So for the level 60 house, I'm gonna build a literal survival base on the moon that an actual person could live in. I made 3 separate buildings and I connected them by these small tubes that can transport people between them. This first one is a small sleeping pod full of beds, this air purifier so people don't die, and this special high-tech spacesuit that literally lets you fly. In the second building, I built a small indoor garden so we can grow, cook, and eat our own source of food. And in this third final building, I built this small science laboratory with a computer, this rock full of rare crystals, and a high-tech AI robot to assist us. Okay, for this next Lego house, I'm gonna build one in an ancient Egyptian pyramid. Wow, this pyramid is huge, which means we have plenty of space inside to build. And you might be wondering, how the heck do you enter it? Well, it turns out I built a secret doorway, which opens when you pull this tiny Lego piece. Once you enter the pyramid, you'll find this huge throne room for a pharaoh. I built him his own throne made of diamonds, a servant to prepare him food, and another servant to read him messages. And for those who disobey the pharaoh, I built this prison and this cage full of snakes. I even built a secret room inside this pyramid. If you move the pharaoh's throne to the side, I built this tiny treasure room with a literal mummy inside. Okay, so we built a house in a pyramid, but next, what about a literal castle? Okay, the castle is finished and it's extremely dangerous. It's protected by this huge deadly pit which surrounds the entire castle, and I filled it with literal lava using these clear orange pieces, so if you try entering, you'll simply fall to your death. The castle is even protected by these guards armed with bows and these tiny spikes on the wall, so if you try climbing it, you'll get poked in the face. The only true way to enter is this drawbridge, which can lower and raise to allow people to cross the lava. Okay, now we're ready to build a house to go inside the castle, so I built a tiny peaceful home where a literal king is living. Outside is this well and this tiny farm full of chickens, which is an unlimited food glitch. Okay, let's see if the castle can protect the king. Okay, one bro disappeared, but the castle survived. Okay, we're only one house away till our level 100 house, but first is the level 90 house. So for this one, what if we build a house on top of a literal skyscraper? So I built this giant tower with several levels, and on the very top, we can put our house. So I built this luxurious, expensive penthouse where you literally live in the sky and have a view of all of Lego City. I built a private landing pad for a literal helicopter, so the person living here can fly back and forth from their house and the Lego store. I also built this tiny cactus and this huge swimming pool, which literally hangs over the edge of the building and seems physically impossible. I built the water using these tiny studs. I even built the entire pool from glass so you can see below you as you swim. Just pray it doesn't break. Oh, there he is. I even built this tiny platform with a literal bungee jump. And once you enter the house, I built this tiny apartment, this bed, a couch, a large kitchen, and this expensive PC for gaming and streaming. I even built this tiny bathroom with a toilet and shower. Wow, we're so high in the sky that planes have to avoid hitting us. Let's see if it can survive some wind. And now, it's time for the final boss, most expensive and biggest house of them all. And I'm gonna build this one on its own private island. Okay, the house is finished and I built it for this famous rich Lego man. And it has literally everything you could possibly dream of having in a home. Like its own private water park, an NBA-sized basketball court, and a literal rock climbing wall where if you make it to the top, you win the newest free iPhone. I even built this house its own boat to transport people on and off the island. The house itself is even made from 3 separate levels. On the first is this huge aquarium with rare exotic fish, and this dream gaming room with a gaming PC and this driving simulation game. On the second level, I built an indoor movie theater with a popcorn machine, an outdoor trampoline, a bed made of money, and a literal bath where you can bathe in money. And for the third final floor, I built a small skateboard park, a mini golf course, and I even built a literal indoor roller coaster. And now that our Lego house is finished, it's time to invite the people of Lego City to pull up and celebrate. But just as they're doing that, it looks like we've received an emergency tsunami warning. No way, they actually survived. Comment what I should build next, subscribe, thanks for watching. Today, I'm gonna buy and build cheap, crappy Lego sets that cost as little as $1. Then I'm gonna compare them with bigger, more expensive versions of them that cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So anyway, let's go. Let's begin with the cheapest Lego set I could possibly find, and it's this tiny dinosaur that I bought for $1. Yep, I literally paid $1 for it. And honestly, I can see why it's $1 because it looks like something I'd see if I had really bad Wi-Fi. So that's why I bought this next Lego set, which costed $200, and it has a giant dinosaur inside made from over 1,000 pieces. This dinosaur is so big that it's also the biggest dinosaur Lego has ever made. It's super realistic too, and parts of its body even move, like its tail, its arms, its head, and also its legs. But my favorite feature about this dinosaur is it actually has a working mouth that can open and shut, which means we can feed it. And there you go, that's the difference between a $1 dinosaur and a $200 dinosaur. The next cheap Lego set is this $5 minion set, and when you build it, you get this interesting looking minion that is also half robot. It has robotic arms that can move and rotate, and you also get this working gun that can shoot bullets. But not gonna lie, this is a pretty lame Lego set, so let's bring in the next one.
What the heck?
Now we're gonna compare that $5 robot to a $90 robot made from 900 Lego pieces. It's also one of the robots from Transformers. But what's special about this robot is that it literally transforms into a car. Never let them know your next move. And basically, I bought two Lego sets in one. So anyway, that's a $5 robot versus a $90 robot. Okay, this next Lego set is actually over 20 years old, and when this came out, it only costed $5. It's a medieval themed Lego set made from only 19 pieces, and it comes with this tiny Lego castle, and it's so small that it's basically made out of a single Lego piece. This has got to be the lamest Lego castle I've ever seen. So instead, I bought this Lego castle for $100, and it's made from 1,000 Lego pieces, and it's protected by all kinds of traps, like these two swords that will try to chop you in half. There's also a bucket that will dump lava on you if you rotate this piece in the back. This castle even has its own weapons, like these catapults that shoot flaming balls, and it has a working drawbridge that can lower and raise. And to attack the castle, there's lots of weapons, like this horse which has a catapult attached to it. There's also this catapult which can launch boulders, and this giant crossbow that launches these bullets. This Lego set is like the premium subscription version of this one. But anyway, that's a $5 castle versus a $100 castle. Okay, it's time to cop the next cheap Lego item. This time, it's a $25 dinosaur rescue truck. The truck has a small cage in the back, and it comes with this dinosaur to put it in. But now we're gonna compare that to this next Lego set, which is the biggest Lego truck I could find. It's made from over 1,000 pieces, and it costed $120. But this time, it's a giant semi-truck that can be opened up to reveal a spy-themed command center inside, with computers, spy equipment, these missiles that shoot from the ceiling, and also this prison. This truck is also so big that it has enough space to fit 5 other vehicles inside of it, like this quad bike, a jet ski that spawns from the back, and this airplane that spawns from the ceiling. So anyway, that's a $25 Lego truck versus a $120 one. Okay, it's time for the next cheap Lego set, and for $5, I found this tiny Lego Pirates of the Caribbean set, and it's a tiny Lego boat with Captain Jack Sparrow. But since it's a boat, it should surely float, so let's see if it does. Honestly, by how tiny that boat was, I wasn't really expecting it to. But now we're gonna compare that to a $160 Lego boat, which is made from 800 Lego pieces. It's one of the biggest Lego boats ever made, and this one is special because it actually floats just like a real boat. On this boat, there's a landing pad for a helicopter, and it even comes with this tiny submarine and a working crane that can lower it into the ocean. Nice. So anyway, that's a $5 Lego boat versus a $160 Lego boat. This next Lego item is a $5 collectible minifigure, and it turns out to be this little boy that is wearing a train. And by itself, it's probably the tiniest Lego train I've ever seen. So now we're gonna compare that to a $180 Lego train set made from 800 pieces. It's a Lego cargo train that can transport all types of cargo, and each car can attach to each other using these special pieces with magnets in them. Wow, they're so attracted to each other. The Lego set even comes with a giant track to put the train on, and you can even control it using this remote. Nice, it works just like a real train. The track even has a special feature that lets you control which way it goes. You also get a truck that can transport all the cargo, and even this giant crane that can lower it down onto the train. Okay, nice. That was a $5 Lego train versus a $180 Lego train. This next Lego product is a $20 Toy Story set. Apparently, it's meant for 4-year-olds, so I'm definitely not the right person to be buying this right now. And after building this set, it's a small roller coaster that can fit 3 minifigures. This is the most lame roller coaster I've ever seen. It literally just goes in a circle. Now, this was the smallest and cheapest Lego roller coaster I could find. So the next Lego set I'm gonna build is supposed to be one of the biggest Lego roller coasters ever made. Okay, this one took me 9 hours to build, and I got to finish my $180. There's a small platform to load all the passengers onto the ride, and when you're ready, you can send them to the very top by rotating this crank, which then activates this chain that pulls them up. Here it goes. Oh. Yep, that was worth it. Wow, that was actually really cool and satisfying. And it should be because I spent $380 on this. So anyway, that was a $20 crappy roller coaster versus the biggest one for $380. Okay, this next Lego set is so tiny that it fits in a single bag, and it only costed $5. And this one is a small bulldozer that can be operated by a single minifigure, and there's a tiny bucket on the front to scoop up all the dirt. But compared to this next Lego set, this one's actually pretty lame, so let's get rid of it. Because for this next Lego set, I bought the biggest Lego bulldozer ever made, which costs $500. Yep, please like for how much money I'm spending on this video. It's made from 3,000 Lego pieces, it has a massive scooper on the front, and the wheels look like something you'd see on a tank. But the best part is that it's actually powered by batteries, and you can use an app on your phone to control it. Okay, this is the fastest setting it goes, so yeah, it's definitely not very quick. It also goes backwards, and you can also make it turn. But now, I want to see what we can plow with it. So first, I tried plowing a pile of Lego bricks, which we're gonna pretend is dirt. Okay, that was a success. I also tried plowing this guy's house. Then I tried plowing this crowd of people. Look how much aura this guy has. He's still standing. And finally, I'm gonna try plowing the entire earth. Okay, nothing happened. It just got stuck. That honestly was a really cool set, so on to the next round. Okay, it's time to unbox the next cheap Lego item. And it's this $10 Lego Star Wars set. And when you build it, you get this Lego AT-AT walker, which is supposed to be one of the biggest weapons used in the movies. A minifig can sit on top of it, and it can even shoot these missiles. But now we're gonna compare this tiny Lego set to the biggest possible version of it ever made by Lego. And in this box, there's over 6,000 Lego pieces. This Lego set is also so big that it's only meant for people who are over the age of 18. So if you're a child, don't buy this set. This set is literally so big that inside the box were 4 other boxes. So after a few hours of building, I realized that I probably wouldn't be able to upload for a month. So then I pulled up to my neighbor's crib and I asked him to help me.
Yo.
Yes, let's go. Nice. So after a few more hours of building, it was finally finished, and this has definitely got to be one of the biggest Lego sets I've ever seen. This was the most expensive set I could find at the Lego store, and it costed $850. That's literally the price of a brand new iPhone. If you're a child who owns this set, you've got to be the most spoiled, rotten child in the world. But for how big of a Lego set this is, there's honestly not that many play features. Like, there's a few guns that can cock back and look like they're firing. And my favorite feature is that there's actually an inside to it where you can put minifigs, and there's also these speeder bikes. This was actually the most expensive thing I could find at the Lego store, but I actually found one final Lego set for the very end that's actually $1,000. But first, it's time to unbox the next cheap Lego item, and for $5, I found this Lego Minecraft set. It's a tiny fortress with a bullet that can shoot out of the wall. This looks like a toilet paper fort I'd make at Walmart. But now we're gonna compare that to this next Lego set. Okay, so far it looks like the mailman sat on the box, and this set is special because it's supposed to be the world's biggest Lego Minecraft set ever made. And apparently it's made from over 3,000 Lego pieces, and it's also the most expensive set I bought for this video because it costed $1,000. Yep, I had to find a $1,000 Lego set so this video wouldn't be clickbait. In this Lego set, you get a giant mountain to explore with a cave inside full of diamonds. And to get down the mountain, you can use this minecart, which seems to have some issues with it, but once you arrive to the very bottom, you can conveniently go back up using the special elevator. And this set has lots of other cool play features, like this ground that blows up, this ground that blows up, and this wall that blows up. So yeah, a lot of stuff blows up, guys. There's a special Lego brick that you can push, which lights up this lava. There's also a secret room on the side of the mountain with a house inside. This looks like one of those secret room videos on YouTube. And the set even comes with lots of characters, like these dogs, and it even comes with this Lego Enderman. Wow, this was probably the most expensive video I've ever made, and now I'm left with all these Lego sets, so I guess I can at least flex on people now. Okay, we're about to hit 6 million subscribers. Thank you all so much for 6 million subscribers. I seriously never thought we would be here, and I'll see y'all in the next one. In this video, I'm gonna find out what the smallest and largest Lego piece is, but little do I know, it's not what I think. Let's go. Okay, so I don't actually know what the smallest Lego piece is, and if I took a guess, I would probably be wrong. So I posted on my Instagram asking what you thought was the smallest Lego piece, and we had some interesting answers. Like, really interesting. So let's look at those right now. So the most common answer I got was studs, the classic stud piece. This piece is great. You can do so many things with it. Like, if you take a bunch of transparent ones, you can make water. Or you can put it in between the studs of a plate and then get the cops called on you. Maybe I should stay away from the illegal building techniques. You can also use it to make some cool looking modern art, or a stoplight, or use it as a doorknob on a door, or a barbershop sign. If you have a minifig hold a tan one, it looks like a chicken nugget. Another small piece is the hot dog. But as a cultured man of class, I like to refer to this as the glizzy. Not only can this be used as a delicious food item, but you can make a palm tree with it. Bruh. I'm not capping, people. I didn't think about it, but the minifig hand is also a small piece. Not too much you can really do with it, though, other than use it as a hand. You can stick it onto the legs of a minifigure, though, and make this. If you have 4, you can connect them all together like this, or if you have even more, you can build a giant flexible wall. Shout out to my boy Dan. Check out this video where I talk about different ways you can use minifig hands, as well as other minifig parts. Okay, also the wands from the Harry Potter sets are surprisingly small. I like to use these myself when I make the legs on a table, or even just as drumsticks. Horn pieces are also super small. I hardly ever use these, but I'm guessing you can use them as horns? Yeah, no kidding, Ty. You can also make a small table out of these, or you can use it as a small knife. If you see this guy running at you, get away as fast as possible, then call 911 because he also builds illegally. There's some pieces that are just so small, you can't really do anything with them. For example, this crown piece that you can find on the hair pieces of certain female minifigs. It's got such a small connection on it that it's kind of hard to use. Coin pieces are also pretty small. This ring's also pretty small, and this bucket handle. I made a chair using 2 of them, and it looks like this guy's brain is pretty small as well. Also, this flame piece. It pretty much just serves one purpose, and that is to look like a flame. It's pretty fire though. If you take a bunch of these and place them down, I guess you can make lava. It might be a cool way to recreate the ending of Star Wars and the Revenge of the Sith. Oh wait, hold on people, I just realized something. so I don't own this piece, so I had to find a set in Walmart that had it. Someone mentioned that the antenna pieces on Clone Trooper helmets are super small. I've got to say, this piece is so small that LEGO gave me 3 extras. I can totally see myself losing this piece. And who would have thought I'd spend $40 on a LEGO set just to review one tiny piece of plastic? But hey, at least now I have an excuse to own the set because I've been wanting it for a while. Oh crap. And comparing these pieces that y'all voted for, I think this antenna piece might be the smallest. So, it looks like the antenna wins this round. Wow, I feel like I'm a judge for American Idol. I've never really stopped to think like what the smallest LEGO piece was, so this is kind of like an educating experience for me. Okay, so I read some forums, and it looks like one of the biggest LEGO pieces made is this boat hull, which comes from a 2007 LEGO City set. So I'm on Bricklink, which is an online store to buy LEGO, and this thing goes for a whopping $100. Oh my gosh. I can buy 18 crispy chicken sandwiches from McDonald's for that much money. But hey, it's for content, people. Okay, so a few days later, it arrived on my doorstep, and wow, this thing is huge. I mean, it looks like a giant loaf of bread. Bruh. It even makes my 32 by 32 base plate look small. But to be honest, this one piece alone is kind of boring as it is. So to spice it up a little, I'm gonna time myself for 1 hour and see what I can add to it. I don't know what I'm doing, people. Here we go. Okay, so as we're building this boat, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Bespoke Post, a monthly membership club which delivers boxes of top-shelf goods from underrated brands. We're talking about everything from outdoor gear, snacks, to clothing, you name it. Pretty much you take a quiz, and based on your answers, you get a different box every month. And each box has around $70 in value, but you only pay a fraction of that price. Before it ships, you get a preview of what comes inside, so you can either keep it, swap it for a different box, or skip the month entirely for no charge. So basically, you're only paying for what you want. And almost all these products come from small businesses, most in the US. Here's 3 boxes I got. This first one is the Snap Box, which comes with a glow stick, square bag, and a waterproof speaker. You'll definitely hear me busting some fire beats on the trails with this thing. The Weekender Box, and no, I'm not talking about the singer, because this one comes with a super high quality bag. And lastly, the Stealth Box, which comes with a money clip, pill capsule, multi-purpose pen, and a pocket knife. I feel like I can sign a record deal and look so cool with this pen. To get 20% off your first box, click the link in the description and enter Bricks20 at checkout, or go to bespokepost.com/bricks20. Back to the video, people. Okay, so 20 minutes in, I wanted this boat to have cargo, but not like the ugly shipping containers from the set, so I quickly speed ran to Target, grabbed a Speed Champions car, assembled it, then added it to my build, and that wrapped us up. Okay, so with the time I was given, here's what I have. This is a very expensive boat because it's transporting some really expensive cars, like this Lamborghini Countach and this Toyota Supra. I was impressed how I got to fit 2 Speed Champion sets in just this one space. I also included some security guards just to make sure no seagulls poop on the cars. The minifigs didn't actually want me to tell you guys this, but they are smuggling some illegal building techniques on deck. I think they're gonna have to go to jail now. So I measured this thing, and it's over 2 feet long and 7 inches wide. Like, I find it so interesting how LEGO would just make a piece this big. Like, sure, the original set this came in only had 641 pieces, but one of those pieces alone is something that could take an extra 200 pieces to make. Like in this pirate set, the hull is built entirely with LEGO bricks, which makes me realize maybe they kept this one in one piece so it can float. After all, LEGO isn't really waterproof, so we're gonna put this to the test, people. Will it be able to float and handle some waves? Let's see. Okay, so that did pretty well. Now let's try putting Yo Mama on it. Oops, looks like it sunk, people. Now let's compare it to my small canoe. Impressive work, LEGO. You gave the fans a functional boat. I like that. I know it's bad luck to have a ship without a name, so I say we name her Usain Boat. What are you looking at? Nope, I shouldn't be making those jokes until I'm in my 30s and I have 2 kids. So how about just Da Boat? Has a nice ring to it. Okay, so I know that LEGO makes Duplo bricks, which are a lot bigger than normal LEGO bricks, but I went to the arts and crafts store and I found these containers that look like giant LEGO pieces. Could this be considered a LEGO piece? I guess, because if you buy multiple, I'm pretty sure they interlock like real LEGO. But what is it like to step on this? I wonder. Let's hope we don't crack the plastic. That held up pretty nice. Now let's try the head. What an absolute Chad. Didn't take any hits. Comment below what we should name this guy. I'm gonna be honest though, I feel like this was kind of a dumb purchase, but I did it for content, guys. Also, I don't know if I want this head in my room because every time I walk in, there's just gonna be this creepy Lego face looking at me.
A man has fallen into the river in Lego City.
Okay, people, comment below what your favorite part of the video was. I spent money on this episode, so give it a like. We're a quarter way to 1 million subscribers, so thank you for the support. Also, my boy Brandon is back on YouTube, so watch his new banger video that I helped film with him. Catch y'all in the next one. Stay spicy, my bros. Get ready to rock and roll. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like, subscribe. Like, subscribe. In this video, we're gonna be comparing Lego builds made from 1 Lego piece all the way to 1 million Lego pieces, each one getting bigger and bigger. So anyway, let's go. Let's begin with easy Lego builds you can make with literally 1 Lego piece. If you put a Lego satellite dish on the top of a minifig head, it looks like a rice farmer hat. If you have a sink faucet, you can use it as a gun for a minifig. Or if you have a Lego coffin, you can remove the top lid, flip it upside down, and now it turns into a boat that actually floats on water. If you have a rollerblade, it looks like a miniature car. This is a Lego cape, and it can be used as a blanket or one of those cloth pieces the barber puts over you when you're trying to get a fresh looking cut. You can use a long plate as a surfboard, or if you have a shield, it can be turned into a tray that people use at expensive restaurants to serve food. If you have a small glass window, you can lay it sideways and it turns into a modern looking table to put in a living room. And finally, if you take a long bar piece, you can use it as a walking stick for a very old man, or you can use it as a weapon like a bow staff. I just filmed all that on a toilet, by the way. Okay, those were the first 10 Lego builds, but now let's progress to Lego builds you can make from 1 to 10 pieces. If you take 2 small Lego bricks, they fit perfectly over the hands on a minifig, and you can use them as boxing gloves. With 3 Lego pieces, I built a tiny Lego tent using 2 large plates, so now we can give this homeless man a new place to live. With 4 pieces, I built a Lego pickaxe, and I built this guitar using 5 pieces. With 6 pieces, I built a small Lego aquarium using a car windshield. With 7 pieces, I built a Lego seesaw for 2 minifigs, and it can also be used as a catapult. I built this Lego basketball hoop using 8 pieces, and for the basket, I used a round plate with a hole in the middle. With 9 pieces, I built this tiny gymnastics bar, but the bar actually can rotate and allow this minifig to spin. And with 10 pieces, I built this realistic Lego toilet where I used a flag as a lid. Okay, let's flush it. What the skibbity? Okay, now we've entered our double-digit Lego build. So now let's look at builds made from 10 to 100 pieces. With 20 pieces, I built a custom Lego backpack. With 30 pieces, I built a Lego trampoline using this net piece. Let's see if it works. With 40 pieces, I built a tiny Lego igloo, and inside is a tiny bed and a stove to cook food. With 50 pieces, I built a tiny Lego version of our planet. Wait, what happens if I do this? With 60 pieces, I built this working Lego treadmill using tire conveyor belt links. With 70 pieces, I built a Lego kangaroo, but the best part is I built a play feature to go with it, and basically when you push down on this tab, the kangaroo actually starts jumping. With 80 pieces, I built a Lego vending machine. All you have to do is insert a piece of Lego money, and a drink will magically pop out. If you look inside, I built a small piece in the back that slides when the money is pushed against it, and it drops the drink. With 90 pieces, I built this tiny Lego shredder using gears. So let's see if it works on a picture of Lord Business, my biggest op. Okay, it works. And with 100 Lego pieces, I built a tiny Lego ocean with lots of fish, but behind this build is a special hidden feature because if you rotate this gear, a dolphin will magically jump out of the water. But to do this, I put the dolphins on this long rod in the back which can spin. And just like that, we've entered our 3-digit Lego build. So now let's look at builds made from 100 to 1,000 pieces. Starting with this one made from 200 pieces. It's a tiny forest with 2 trees, but connecting the trees together is this giant zip line. This Lego build is made from 400 pieces, and it's a gun that shoots money. To build this, I used a motor inside, and there's a large spot to put the money. With 500 pieces, I built this Lego truck. But that's not it, because to go with the truck, I built this camper that can attach to it. Inside is a tiny kitchen, a living room with a TV, and a bathroom. But the best part is that if you pull this tab on the outside, the camper can actually expand to allow more room. Okay, that was a 500-piece Lego build, but now let's double it and build something with 1,000 pieces. But this time, I chose to build a Lego zoo full of animals. Before Before entering the park, there's 2 booths to buy tickets. When you get inside the park, there's 5 different exhibits. This first exhibit is for animals from Africa, like a lion or this gorilla. This next exhibit is for Arctic and Antarctic animals, like penguins, and I added this polar bear, which is eating a fish. This exhibit is for tiny animals like spiders, scorpions, snakes, and frogs. This next exhibit is an aquarium for all sorts of different sea creatures. And for the final exhibit, it's in the middle of the park, and it's a bird exhibit, and I added every Lego bird I had. But even after building this 1,000 piece Lego creation, that's not even 1% the way to the 1 million piece Lego build. So from this point forward, we'll be looking at Lego builds so big that I neither have the time, money, or pieces to make them myself. So I quickly copped a flight across the country to visit the world's biggest Lego convention, and it only happens once a year. Here you'll find thousands of custom Lego creations made by thousands of people, but I'm here for one simple challenge, and it's to find the biggest one I can. The first Lego build I found is this roller coaster made from 5,000 Lego pieces. It works just like a real roller coaster. There's a giant drop, and parts of the track even go upside down. I also found this very detailed Lego graffiti made from 12,000 Lego pieces, and it uses almost every Lego piece possible, including a guitar and an actual Lego baby. I also found this Lego minion, and this one's made from 15,000 pieces. Yo, rate my minion language. This is a Lego ocean, but if you push this button with your foot, it literally lights up, revealing a giant coral reef with plants and fish. And this build is made from 20,000 pieces. I found this giant Lego Star Wars battle with hundreds of people fighting each other, different weapons and vehicles, and this one is made from 25,000 Lego pieces. I also found this Asian-themed Lego city made from 50,000 Lego pieces. The city is floating on water and is made from several houses and shops connected by bridges. It has hundreds of people living in it, and there's boats around the city that people use to get around. But this next Lego build I found is double the size, and it's a futuristic space base made from 100,000 Lego bricks. And the best part about this base is that it can actually be opened up to reveal the inside, which has several levels and different rooms like bedrooms or this gym. This build is a Lego Disneyland. It was designed to look just like the real park. It has almost every ride. There's hundreds of minifigs, a giant castle, and it takes 10 tables just to display it. This one is made from 150,000 Lego pieces. And for the biggest Lego creation I could find, it was this giant medieval world made from 400,000 Lego bricks. Around this world, you'll find villages full of houses and farms. There's an archery competition, an entire town full of people. But the biggest part of this build is a giant castle with an army of people protecting it. But even though this was the biggest Lego build I could find, we're not even halfway to the 1 million piece Lego build. So I quickly grabbed all my remaining Robux and flew across the country once again for one final place to visit, Legoland, an actual land made from thousands of Lego creations, and I'm here to find the biggest one I can. The first thing I found was this giant spider perched on a rock made from 40,000 Lego bricks. This Lego build is a Fortnite loot llama made from 125,000 Lego bricks. I think we should break it and see if there's a shield potion inside. I found an entire Lego aquarium with real fish. I found Nemo, and around the aquarium underneath the water are actual Lego builds like these scuba divers, but the biggest build is this submarine made from 150,000 Lego bricks. This thing could probably fit a human inside of it. This Lego build is made from 200,000 Lego pieces. It's a giant mountain, and on the very top is a temple. There's definitely a very old wise man who lives in here. This is a giant red dragon made from 300,000 Lego bricks, and this is a Lego Ferrari made from 385,000 Lego bricks. Basically everything on the car is made from real Lego. It even has lights that can turn on, and it's so massive that it's the same size as a real Ferrari. But even this wasn't close to the 1 million piece Lego build. So after exploring Legoland for one more hour, I found the biggest Lego creation in this entire park, which was this massive Lego city made from 2 million Lego bricks. Around the city are thousands of people, hundreds of cars, skyscrapers like this one, which just by itself is made from 250,000 Lego bricks, and there's even dinosaurs which are attacking the city. Let's freaking go! We finally found a 1 million piece Lego build, so now I can finally go home and upload this video. Comment your favorite Lego build. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
On my mini fix, put your place against up in the air. We be cruising to the city like we just don't care. We be running up there like our money like an ATM. I be dripping with the like a watch, catch me with the bands.
In this video, I'm gonna take Lego creations made by kids and as an adult find ways to upgrade them and build better versions of them in Lego. So anyway, let the challenge begin. Okay, now I've been building Lego since I was a very young boy, but looking back on my old builds, some of these actually look really trash. But now I'm 21, which means I'm a very old wise man who's very experienced with Lego. So using my master building skills, I'm gonna see how I can build against kids. So I grabbed my mom's credit card and copped $1,000 worth of Lego off the internet, packed it in my car, but I accidentally rolled down the hill. So I packed it in another car and drove to the nearest elementary school to my house. And after a week of waiting, I came back and got all of this. Wow, look at all of these builds. I can definitely tell these were made by kids. There's more on the floor, by the way. Let's take a look at our first Lego build. This one was made by a 9-year-old named Ethan, and it's a burger. Okay, I love all the ingredients, but the shape of the burger do be looking a little sus. Might not pass the health code check, so I'm gonna build one that looks more realistic and delicious. So after some building, I made my very own Lego burger with different ingredients, like this meat patty, a slice of cheese, a tomato, and lettuce. And when you put them all together, we have a burger so delicious that Mr. Krabs would be jealous. But there's actually something very important that's missing. So to go with the burger and complete the meal, I'm gonna build some Lego French fries. Okay, our Lego meal is complete. Wait, let me try something real quick. Wow, I'm loving it. On to the next build. This Lego build was made by a 9-year-old named Romeo, and it's a soccer field with Messi and Ronaldo playing for the World Cup. So he built 2 goals, he built a soccer ball using a stud, and there's also a trophy to whoever wins. Okay, I like this build, but I think we can upgrade it. So I built my own custom soccer ball using this illegal building technique with flowers. Now we can make the field for our players, so I built a large one with 2 goals, and I used these nets that can actually catch the ball. Now it's time for the games to begin so we can add our players. So I attempted to build my best version of a Lego Messi and Ronaldo minifig. So all we have to do now is just add them to the field. I built a scoreboard to keep track of how many points each team has, and I also built a giant bleacher full of people ready to watch the game, including iShowSpeed. Are you serious right now, bro? Okay, the soccer field is complete. Now it's time to play. Everyone go comment, Messi or Ronaldo. Okay, it's time for the next build. So this one was made by a 10-year-old named Diana, and it's a Walmart. Okay, if we look inside, it seems like there's some tables. You can buy flowers, but what concerns me is that there's actually fire. Not sure if it's very safe to shop here, guys. But now, I think it's time I try building my own Walmart. So first, I built the outside with the giant Walmart logo, and these doors that slide open. Now, if we turn the building around, the wall can actually be removed. So it's time to customize the inside and add all the items that people would buy at a Walmart. Okay, so there's an aisle for groceries. For the next aisle, you can buy electronics like a phone, iPad, laptop, camera, a Nintendo Switch, or some VR headsets. I also built a clothing aisle to buy pants and shirts. You can also buy bikes, and when you're ready to check out, you can pay at these registers. Okay, that's my version of building a Lego Walmart. Okay, a lot of kids built animals. Like an 8-year-old built this monkey. An 8-year-old built this polar bear. A 10-year-old built this cute little duck. An 8-year-old built this crocodile, and he used a brick separator for its mouth. An 8-year-old also built this lizard. This looks like the dinosaur from that Google game when you don't have Wi-Fi. And finally, an 8-year-old built this Lego snake. But I think we can upgrade this and build a better version. So I built this snake, but it's special because I use this satisfying building technique where I use ball joints. That way the snake can actually move. I gave it a large tongue, giant fangs, and I also built it that way its mouth can open. Let's see if I can charm it. Okay, this next build we're gonna upgrade is made by a 10-year-old, and it's a police officer. Not gonna lie, I think this police officer had too many donuts, cause he be looking kinda thick. Okay, I'm gonna try building my own police officer using basic Lego pieces. I gave him a police badge, he has an adjustable head, and I also gave him some adjustable arms. Dang, bro is chill like that. I put clip pieces on his hip to attach things like a flashlight and a taser gun. He also has clip pieces as hands, so I'm gonna give him a speeding ticket and a donut. And okay, that's my own version of building a Lego police officer. Okay, these are the upgrades we've done, but we still got more to go. Okay, this next build was made by an 8-year-old named David, and it's a tiny house. It has a water tank and an antenna for Wi-Fi, and there's a maintenance guy on top fixing it. And if we open the door, there's actually a guy sleeping inside. But not gonna lie, he looks very uncomfortable. So I'm gonna build a bigger house with more rooms. I want this house to be small, but something I'd want to live inside of. Okay, the outside is finished. Now it's time to build the inside. Now it's time time to build all the important things that would go in a house. So I'm gonna build different rooms like a bedroom, a tiny bathroom. I also built a small kitchen, a living room with a couch and table, and behind the house I left some empty space for a backyard. So outside in the back I built a small pool and a reclining chair. And now that our house is finished, we can finally build a roof. So I made this modern looking one with windows. Okay, the house is finished, so now it's time for this Lego man to begin living in it. So welcome to your new home, little bro. And that completes this round, so on to the next Lego build. Okay, so for this next build, this one was made by an 8-year-old, and he built this car. It looks like a truck. There's someone inside driving it. He has a pet parrot, and I think these pointy things are exhaust pipes. Okay.
Hey there, friends. I'm so excited to chat with you today. Let's talk about something fun. What do you think?
Driving. Okay, let's test it. Yep, it works. But for this truck, I want it to be a monster truck. So I gave it a giant engine, exhaust pipes with flames coming out, giant spikes, and the guy's pet parrot. Wow, this truck feels very American. Okay, let's see if it works. Whoa, it's so fast. Okay, it can't go off-roading, but it can go on-roading. Okay, that's my version of building a Lego truck. On to the next build. Okay, this build was made by an 8-year-old named Dylan, and it's Pikachu. He gave it a small tail and 2 big ears. But this is a 2D build, so what if I tried building a 3D version of him? Okay, that took an hour, but I built a Pikachu out of yellow Lego bricks. I built his lightning bolt tail, his tall pointy ears, I used a sideways building trick to connect his eyes, and I used red bricks for his cheeks. Okay, and that's my attempt of building a Lego Pikachu. On to the next build. This next Lego build was made by an 8-year-old named Joanne, and it's an airplane. Wow, well, there's honestly a lot I could say right now, but guys, we have to remember, a kid made this. So what if we tried upgrading this plane and building a better version that's more realistic? So I made this one, which actually has wheels and can allow the plane to roll on the ground. I added supports to hold up the wings. I used an illegal building technique to build the fin on the back. The plane can seat a single minifig, and there's a small compartment to put luggage when traveling. But my favorite part is that the propeller actually works. Okay, the plane is finished, and that is a huge upgrade from this. Yeah! Take that, kid! No, I'm just kidding, guys. Trust me, I'm not a bully. Okay, it's time for our final Lego build. But first, here's a quick round of other random builds made by kids. A 10-year-old built this Lego pencil. An 8-year-old built this Nintendo Switch. A 9-year-old built this robot. If AI could be in physical form, this is what it would look like. An 8-year-old built this salad with lettuce, a fork, and a cup of tea. A 7-year-old built this helicopter. And a 10-year-old built this car with robot arms. This is what cars will look like in 30 years. And for our final Lego build, this kid built Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, I like the effort, but this looks like Freddy Fazbear if he hasn't loaded into the map all the way. So I'm gonna build a better version that looks more like him. After 2 hours of building, this is what I got. I used this picture to build him. I used lots of joints to make his arms and legs move. He has a top hat, tiny ears, a bow tie, and I gave him a microphone. This thing actually looks so cool, guys. Wait, whoa, what's going on? What's that? Oh crap, where'd he go? Help! Wait, I got a flashlight. Okay, that's our final Lego build finished. Thank you everybody who built stuff for this video. You're as goated as this Lego goat. Okay, we're about to hit 5 million subscribers.
Let's go!
Oh crap, the smoke alarm went off. Okay, I gotta go, guys. Thank you for 5 million. I'll see you in the next one.
On my minifig, spit your pussy against up in the air. We be cruising to the city like we just don't care. We be running up there like our money like an ATM. I be dripping with the Lego watch, catch me with the bands.
Today, we're gonna be comparing cheap Lego minifigures with some of the coolest, most rare, and expensive Lego minifigures to exist. Here's the game plan. There's hundreds of different Lego themes out there. I'm gonna take 10 very popular ones, cop the cheapest minifig, then the most expensive minifig from that theme. Okay, let's go. Let's start with Minecraft. The cheapest minifig I could find was Steve. He comes in 40 different Lego sets, making him extremely common, and he only costed 25 cents. And for the most expensive minifig, I bought this villager. It only came in one Lego set that sold for $200, meaning not many people bought it, and for this one, I had to pay $80. I want to build a custom Lego set for this villager. I made it a tiny home to live in, and then I'm gonna give him a bunch of emeralds, that way he can flex. Okay, another popular Lego theme is Ninjago. So I went ahead and bought this red Lego ninja by the name of Kai. He was sold in 13 different Lego sets, making him really common, and I only paid 50 cents. Meanwhile, for the expensive minifig, I bought this blue ninja by the name of NRGJ. He only came in one Lego set that was available 10 years ago, and I paid $90 for him. I mean, at least he looks cool. He literally looks like he's been electrocuted or something. What about superheroes? The cheapest minifig I could find was the Spider-Man. He's the most common Spider-Man because he came in all of these Lego sets and only costed $1. But I also bought this Lego Spider-Man, and this one costed $65. This was apparently the first Lego Spider-Man to be made, and Lego stopped selling these almost 20 years ago. I also bought this Lego Green Goblin minifig. This one only came in one Lego set, and the cheapest one I could find was $80. Now, before we continue looking at more minifigs, I'm gonna speed run some Lego 2K Drive. It's an open world racing adventure game that recently dropped, and you need to play it. You can collect between hundreds of unique vehicles in Lego, from race cars to boats to off-roaders. Like, look, you can literally drive a burger. You can customize them to your dream ride, pick your driver, and pick between hundreds of different races to challenge yourself in, whether it's a single race or a World Cup tournament. There's road races, off-road races, water races, and they happen across several unique maps with lots to see and do along the way. Like, there's special side missions and challenges. It's an open world game, so you're never gonna get bored by how much there is to do. Everyone can enjoy this game, even my dog did. So make sure you check my description and click that link to buy the game and get racing. Anyway, let's get back to buying overpriced pieces of plastic. What about Toy Story? Here's a Lego Woody minifig that came in 4 different sets and only costed $1.50. His legs are extra tall and his arms are extra long, and if you put it on a normal minifig, it looks like someone's been hitting arm day. And then look what I did to Woody. Meanwhile, I bought this Lego Buzz Lightyear minifig that appeared in one set. He's different than a normal Buzz Lightyear because he has a different face, and he also has random dirt stains on him. So compared to a normal Buzz Lightyear that only costs $5, I paid $35 for this dirty one. Here's a quick life hack. If you want to save money, just take your regular Buzz Lightyear and go rub it in some dirt outside. Look, see? There's no difference. I also bought this Toy Story minifig, which came from the same Lego set as the Buzz Lightyear. The cheapest one I could find was $80. It looks like an insect, so definitely not something I'd want to find chilling on the side of a wall in my house. Now, what's a custom Lego Toy Story set we can make? How about Andy's bedroom? I'm gonna start by building a wooden floor and some large walls with clouds on them. Then I'm gonna add a massive bed and a chest full of toys. That way these minifigs appear tiny and look like actual toys. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Another popular superhero is Batman. The cheapest Lego Batman minifig I could find was this one, and it costed $1. But that's super lame and way less cool than this next Lego Batman I bought. Dang, this one low-key looking zesty though. The cheapest one I could find was $105. He goes by the name Disco Batman, but you could only buy him in one Lego set that costed $270. And speaking of heroes like Batman, I also bought a villain. Here's a Lego Harley Quinn minifig that came in one expensive Lego set that didn't sell very well, and I paid $250 for her. She's also a movie-accurate replica of the Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. What about the topic of sports? Well, here's a Lego NBA player that I only paid 75 cents for. He can hold a basketball, then shoot it with his legs that have springs in it. Meanwhile, I bought these 2 Lego NBA players. One is Kobe Bryant and one is Shaquille O'Neal, which are some of the only minifigs to this day to be based off of real people. And because of that, I paid $25 for Shaq and I paid $50 for Kobe. Next up is Pirates of the Caribbean. Here's a Lego Captain Jack Sparrow minifig. He came in all of these Lego sets, meaning he's very common and only costed $1. And for the most expensive minifig I could find, I copped this Lego Davy Jones. Oh look, it's got like a crab pincher. It could actually hold stuff. And the cheapest one I could find on the internet was $100. But it turns out he only came in one Lego set that was sold over 10 years ago. Next up is Harry Potter. The cheapest minifig I could find was Harry Potter himself. He also came in many Lego sets, meaning he's very common, and he only costed $1. Meanwhile, I bought this Lego minifig. It's a 20th anniversary Lego Dumbledore. He's completely gold. He only came in one limited edition set, and I paid $35 for him. Next up is Lego City, the city of Lego. It's a pretty big topic, so I actually bought a lot of different minifigs, and all of these costed $1. The first one is a $1 Lego astronaut. Here's a $1 civilian, a $1 criminal, $1 construction worker, $1 garbage man, $1 firefighter, a $1 Lego nurse, a Coast Guard minifig, a $1 Lego mechanic, another $1 civilian, and a $1 person that looks like he lives in an igloo. Then I bought this Lego minifig. It's so old, you have to put a sticker on it. Oh crap, I hate putting stickers on. It's a truck driver that came in one set from 1995, and the cheapest one I could find was $180. And it's super rare because the hat it comes with is in a special color that you can't find in any other Lego minifig. Okay, now it's time for a quick speed round of really super cheap figures I bought that aren't quite minifigures. The first thing I found was from an old Lego theme from the 80s called Fabuland, and it's this alligator guy. He looks nervous. Wait, what's going on right now? I also bought this weird Duplo person for 50 cents. This figure that I bought for 20 cents, and apparently it's supposed to be a finger puppet. Wow, I really can't believe I'm making a living doing this. I also bought this cheap Technic minifig for $1 that can actually move in a lot of different ways, and Lego doesn't make these anymore. This tiny baby that costed $3. These tiny board game figures that go onto a single stud. Each of these costed 50 cents. And these even tinier figures that are hardly over a brick tall. These ones costed 25 cents each. And the final Lego theme on our list is Star Wars. And it's also where I bought the most expensive minifig in this video. The cheapest figure I could find was this battle droid, and it costed $1. They're extremely common. Some Lego sets literally have over 10 of these per box. They're so common that I actually bought an entire army of them. Wow, this is actually pretty satisfying to look at. Now I can fulfill my childhood dream and have an epic battle with them. Now, for the expensive minifig, we actually have 3 of them. The first minifig I bought was this Lego Darth Vader. It costed $90, but apparently someone told me that its lightsaber actually lights up. I think you're just supposed to push his head. Wow, this minifig's almost 20 years old, so I'm surprised that still works. I also bought this chrome Lego Stormtrooper for $100, and it came in one tiny Lego set from 2009. Wow, it's so shiny, I can literally see my own reflection. And honestly, it makes a normal Stormtrooper seem really lame. And finally, the most expensive Lego minifig in this video. I bought this one off the internet for $1,075, and today's the day when it arrives on my doorstep. This is Lego Cloud City Boba Fett. He came in set number 10123, Cloud City, which sold in the year 2003 for $100. And over the past 20 years, many of these Cloud City Boba Fetts have either been lost, locked away by collectors, or destroyed by little children. So to get one of these in the present day, you might have to pay as much as $3,000. Now at the time, Lego released another Boba Fett. It appeared in more sets and only costed $40. But what makes the Cloud City Boba Fett so special is that it was the first Lego minifigure to have arm printing, making this minifigure very ahead of its time. Wow, I really did spend $1,000 on an overpriced piece of plastic though. Not gonna lie, that feels a little selfish, so to compensate, I'm gonna buy a bunch of Lego sets to hand out to random people. Wow, I low-key feel like Mr. Beast right now. And for the final moment, it's time to combine all the expensive Lego minifigs we bought in this video. Dang, this is how Lego fans flex on each other, I guess. Click the link in my description to secure Lego 2K Drive and flex on all your friends by how fast you can race. I'll see you later, take care. This week I copped a $1, $100, and $1,000 Lego mystery box. And for each one I open, I'm gonna challenge myself to take what I get and build my very own Lego creation. So anyway, let the challenge begin. Okay, so for the $1 box, I'm in this Lego store with my boy Marcus right now. While I'm not looking, he's gonna buy a minifig and surprise me. So here's your dollar, my boy. I'm gonna go run real quick.
Alright, so I got this dollar right here. I gotta pick something that he's not gonna expect, honestly. Oh, it's right here. Maybe Minecraft Steve right here? Thank you so much.
I then had him put it in his giant Lego head. And now that I'm back in the crib, let's see what Marcus got me. Okay, here we go. Okay, and he bought me a Minecraft Steve. I like Minecraft, so we could definitely make a cool build for this minifig. But first, we need inspiration, so I went onto Minecraft to play for a couple hours. There you go, boys and girls. I just made my own house. It's a small place, but it gets the job done. And I want to make this house in Lego for our boy Steve. But before we do that, here's a bunch of diamond armor so he's got that drip. Now it's time to build our home. So I grabbed a base plate and laid out the foundation. Okay, before we build the walls, let's add the inside. I then went ahead and added some flooring, a crafting table, furnace, chest full of random loot, and a bed to the interior. Looks good. And then I kept building the walls, adding glass windows and a custom oak door I built. It doesn't open, sadly, but with my editing, it can open. Now it's time to finish the house with a roof, then add some things outside. Like I made these bushes and lanterns, and on this side of the house, I'll make a tiny garden with wheat, potatoes, because your boy loves potatoes, and a pumpkin. And boom, we took a single minifig that's worth $1 and gave him a custom build to live in. But we've only scratched the surface of what we're gonna review in this video, so get out of my face, because now it's time to review our $100 box. For this next box, I'm gonna need my boy Riley. Yo, what's good, my man?
What's up, Ty? Not much.
Okay, so I have $100. I'm gonna give it to you. Go buy whatever Lego you want and surprise me with it. All right, here you go.
Thank you. I'll definitely spend this on you and not myself.
Yeah, don't buy any V-Bucks or anything like that. 1 week later, it came in the mail. Yo, what's that? Okay, I'm already seeing some bricks. Not really surprised by that. Okay, I'm getting jungle vibes right now. Lots of plants in here. Different colors, too. One bag had a bunch of completely random parts in it. Oh, okay. There's a lot of animals in this bag. There's a monkey, crabs, fish, squirrels, birds, snakes, spiders. I think Riley's trying to scare me, honestly. And even a dolphin. I love dolphins. He sent this minifig with a bunch of bruises on it. Not sure what happened. And in the final bag came some larger animals. There's 2 lions with a cub, and there's a giant snake. Yeah, so Riley gave me a bunch of animals, which gives me the idea of making a Lego creation to put them all in, so how about we make a zoo? But before we start building this zoo, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Loot Boy, an app that helps you score top-tier gaming treasure and exclusive surprises through Quest or at a great price. It's free on all these platforms here, and essentially you collect loot coins to open free packs, all that for free in just a few clicks. I then proceeded to get even more free loot. Or you can collect diamonds to open premium packs that you can also pay for. There's always new exciting ways to earn in-app currency. There's even weekly comics and a new chat radar feature where you can chat and play with other Pogger gamers that share the same interests as you. But most importantly, I've teamed up with Loot Boy to donate to charity. So there's 3 exclusive Lego packs on the site right now. Each one gives you these virtual Lego bricks. Our goal is to collect 10 million of them by January 15, and by doing so, all of these items will be donated to the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, and currently they're helping relieve people in Ukraine. The first pack is free, gives you 1 virtual brick and all this other loot. The second pack is $3, gives you 25 bricks, 1 free mystery Lego game, better loot, and a chance to win this Lego Millennium Falcon set. And the third pack is $16 but gives you 200 bricks, 1 free mystery Lego game, even better loot, and even a bigger chance to win the Millennium Falcon. So click the link in the description, use my code, and download Loot Boy to get a juicy starter pack with tons of loot. Also check out the charity event. Let's get those 10 million bricks, baby. But anyway, I'm getting attacked by this lion right now, so let's go back to making this zoo. First off, we need to figure out the different exhibits we're gonna have. Okay, I say we have one for the aquatic animals, one for the tree animals like the squirrels, one for the land animals, and one exclusively for the lions, because if you put them with the other animals, they're just gonna eat them. Let's start with our aquatic exhibit. Riley bought me some of these colorful plant pieces, so I went ahead and used them to make coral and other sea plants. Then I added crabs, fish, and our dolphin. When I say a bad word, I need you to cover it. And as a final touch, I'll go ahead and add glass pieces around the build to make it look like one giant aquarium. Our second exhibit can be for our tree animals, so I say we make a small jungle. I'll add 2 trees, 1 palm tree that I made using glizzies, and for the remaining space, I'll add a bunch of undergrowth plants so it looks really lush. So just like that, we can move in our squirrels, monkeys, and our birds. Our third exhibit can be for the snakes and spiders, so I'll add a few rocks for them to sleep underneath, a water bowl, and then we can add our animals. What would happen if this guy got bit? Whoa, that's sick. And in this last spot, I'll add our lions and their cub. And I'll have this bruised lady feeding the lions because this is probably how you'll look after doing it. And it looks like our zoo is open for business, so time to start adding some minifigs. Here's people taking pictures. Here's a tour guide spitting facts about squirrels. This guy's cleaning poop. This guy tried petting one of the lions. Dang, bro, I'm dead. And this guy's listening to an audio guide.
The female usually builds at night.
And just like that, I think that completes our $100 mystery box build. But I don't give a crap about this anymore, so get out of my face because now we're gonna review the $1,000 mystery box. And for this final box, I sugar daddied Sacred with my credit card and let him spend $1,000 on any Lego he could possibly want. Maybe this was a bad idea. But anyway, let's see what he's doing right now.
Yeah, I just hacked into Tyler's bank account. I blew all of it on Fortnite skins, but there's $1,000 left, so we're gonna surprise him with the Lego mystery box. Okay, so my plan is I want him to basically build a roller coaster. I think that'd be really cool. So we're gonna have to buy a bunch of track pieces that he could use. But we can't just do a roller coaster. We also gotta confuse him a little bit. We already know he likes his glizzies. We're just gonna buy a really random sticker sheet. Let's also get him a front of an airplane for literally no reason. Let's also buy him the butt of an airplane. There are gonna have to be people riding in the roller coaster, so we're gonna have some minifigures over here. We're gonna pick out some really cool ones. We're definitely gonna have to get this Burger Person, that's the name. Now we have to see how much all of this stuff costs and if it hits $1,000. The first cart is already $500. Jeez. Alright, the next cart is formed. Okay, here's the next cart. Get the random plane pieces. And all of these are gonna be super useful. Okay, with tax, this is gonna be around $1,000 worth of Lego. We needed 10 different carts to fit this many pieces. Hopefully he can build something cool with this, and his reaction is gonna be insane.
1 week later, it came in the mail. You think you can surprise me, Sacred? I'm watching you. You know, I could do a lot of things with $1,000. I could be in Disneyland right now. I could have bought the new iPhone. Okay, here we go, Sacred. Let's see what you bought me. Whoa, what's this? Oh my gosh, he sent so many roller coaster tracks. Yeah, there were lots of tracks. There was also a lot of random stuff like this sandwich with eyeballs, a Minecraft ghast, Moana, random printed brick. This bag's full of black glizzies, and this minifig that's literally a USB stick. Oh, that's sick. I didn't even know Lego made these. Also, just a ton of random parts. Okay, he just gave me part of an airplane, I guess. I think there's a sticker packet in here. That literally looks like, is this anime? What is this? And there were some extra minifigs. Super Emo Kid, Taco Man, and there's a piece of chicken. You see, Sacred is a man of class. This is so much Lego, I feel like I'm in Minecraft creative mode right now. Now the big question is, what am I gonna make with all this? Okay, you know what? He gave me a lot of these tracks, so I say we make a roller coaster, like a big one. First off, I wanna mess around and see what I can do with these tracks. Okay, here's experiment number 1. There's 22 tracks. Let's push it and see what happens. Okay, go have fun, kids. Okay, this roller coaster had some serious stability problems, so it was time to rethink and design a better one that also was more exciting and not just a straight wiggly line. Lego has already made several roller coaster sets, so I can't just be an NPC and make something basic. I have to outbeat all of them and make the best Lego roller coaster I possibly can, and we have to keep this roller coaster as exciting as possible. So after 3 hours of building, I had a finished product. And here she is. This is something that I always dreamed of doing as a kid. Okay, so we got the boys all strapped up. Let's see how this roller coaster performs. Only problem is I forgot to add something to stop the ride, so if you're the front passenger, then you're gonna get knocked unconscious. So to fix it, I went ahead and added some wheels. There you go, it stopped. Also, there's no track taking you to the top, but I don't think people would really care about that. Also, it's just a waste of parts. But this roller coaster isn't done just yet, because there's a few final touches I want to add using some of the parts Sacred gave us. Like, we can't forget about the black glizzies, guys. Look how many people are in line to get their glizzies. This guy's even dressed up as one. Sacred also gave me flags, so we can go ahead and add those around the ride, or these satellite dishes for extra color. I'm also gonna add one of those cameras that take your picture on the ride, as well as Burger Person. This guy's eating chicken on the ride. And for a chef's kiss, I'll add a broken, rotting plane on the ground to make this ride look extra scary. And just like that, I think our roller coaster is complete. So now it's time to FaceTime Sacred and see what he thinks. Hey, what's goody? Wait, yo, Sacred, what is that?
This is just like me predicting how the build's gonna look.
You better watch that mouth, young man. Alright, this is what I built with your $1,000.
Damn. I'm gonna be completely honest right now.
Yeah.
I'm confident in my response that is the worst roller coaster I've ever seen. You should just like punch it right now.
Okay, bet, are you happy now?
Subscribe to Sacred Bricks or he will do that to your mom.
Big thanks to my boy Marcus, Riley, and Sacred for helping make this video possible. And also big thanks to Loot Boy for helping sponsor this video. Make sure you click the link below to download the app and get that juicy starter pack. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. So thank you for watching. Peace out. In this video, I'm going to challenge myself to see what Lego creations I can make with a $1 budget. Then I'm going to blow $1,000 on Lego and see what I can make with a $1,000 Lego build. Will this be a success or a failure? Let the challenge begin. Okay, so to start, let's talk about some simple Lego creations you can make with a $1 budget. Oh, my bad, this is a 2. There's $1. I googled it, and apparently an average Lego piece costs 10.4 cents. So doing my math, that means that each build shouldn't take any more than 10 pieces to make. I'm accepting scholarships, Harvard. If you take one of these singular string pieces, you can make a leash for a dog. If you take one of these singular chain pieces, you can make a necklace for a minifig. He's really got that drip now. Or if you want to make a phone, you can use a singular black tile. You can also make a small pair of shoes using a 1x2 plate, 1x1 plate, and a small slope. Or you can make a simple couch like this that can seat a minifig. And to go with it, you can throw in a small table, potted plant, rug, and a lamp. If you have silver, gold, blue, or purple studs, you can make Lego game money. This is what being rich felt like as a kid. Or you can make a mini kit like from Lego Star Wars. Master Yoda approves. You can also make a can of soda or a bottle of water. And since the Thor movie just came out, here's how you build his hammer. It just uses a bar piece, modified brick, and a few plates. And here's a flyboard made Lego, like one of those things you stand on and water shoots you into the air. Yeah, those are pretty cool. And here's a simple build of someone liking the video and spamming W in the chat. Since I love Stranger Things, here's a speaker to bust your favorite song and prevent Vecna from entering your mind. Comment what song you would play if you started hearing the clock. Next, I went onto Instagram to ask what you thought would be some cool $1 builds, and we had some good responses. Well, most of you had good responses. Here's a giant hamburger for a minifig that uses some round plates. And here's an electric piano, but to make the keys, I used some of these grill pieces. Here's a gumball machine, and for the candy, I used colorful studs. And here's a toilet. Someone suggested guns, so I built 3. The first one is a flamethrower, pretty fire. I also made 2 more custom designs that you can make using authentic Lego parts. Here's a micro-scale TIE fighter from Star Wars, and here's a basic-looking microwave. Someone suggested a Minecraft chest, and instead of making the default ones from the sets, I made a custom one that looks a little more accurate. And since we're on the topic of Minecraft, here's an anvil as well as a potion bottle. Steve approves. And here's a micro-scale house. And since micro is really helpful when you don't have many parts, here's a helicopter to go with it. We also can't forget about illegal building techniques, so here's a few. First off, you can make a minifig briefcase using a handcuff piece and 2 plates. And similar to the briefcase, here's a handbag that uses a modified brick and a bucket handle. You can also take this clip piece and a ball joint, and boom, you have a working hinge. Or you can take this clip piece and make 2 circle plates face in opposite directions. And if you want to face 2 bricks in opposite directions, you can use 2 flowers. Who thought that something so cute and innocent could actually get the cops called on you? Okay, so my next step was to ask a couple friend Lego YouTubers who could share some ideas. Our first suspect is Riley. Okay, what's up, Riley? I know that you're a really good builder, and I'm looking for $1 Lego ideas. What do you got, my boy?
The first idea I have is a Lego fidget toy. It's built with 10 pieces, so it should be under $1, and you literally just fidget with it. The next thing I have is a Lego minifigure scale blaster. I used the Lego whip piece for the cable on the back. And then for the final build, I took a Lego Dots bracelet and added some stud shooters. You can actually just whip this on.
Those are actually really fire, Riley. They make me want a boogie. Our next target is Sacred Bricks. Okay, boys and girls, we got Sacred on the call, and he's gonna share some $1 ideas with us.
Alright, first idea. We got ourselves a pickle. You know, you always gotta have a pickle in your burgers.
Yeah, I like the transparent pieces you use though, like for like the juiciness.
I'm gonna throw the pickle.
Let's go. Ready? Yep. It's a shame it hit the floor though. That's a health code food violation.
Next up, we got a really funny build. So I saw this minifigure right here and I was like, what if I recreate him as a minifigure but built out of normal pieces? So I made this guy.
Yo, everybody comment below what we should name him. Yeah, the juicy pickle was my favorite. Yo guys, go subscribe to Sacred. Also go subscribe to Riley. Moving on. Thank you, Sacred.
Yes, Ty, you gotta pay me more next time.
As we go.
And now, it was time to blow $1,000 on interlocking plastic and see what I could make. Now, 1,000 buckaroos is a lot of money, even more money than the world's largest Lego set right now, which is $800. And I wanted to make this a super cool build worth that price. So since Lego comes with endless possibilities, I didn't even know where to begin, so I went onto Instagram and I got feedback from a lot of you people. The Great Wall of China, a life-size car, a futuristic city, an enormous glizzy, my dad using transparent pieces. That's gotta hurt. But after reading several responses, a lot of you suggested making a castle. It's a broad enough topic to where I can be super creative, and Lego's also releasing a giant castle this August. So I think we're gonna have to do that. Okay, so after deciding what to build, it was time to go on to the world's largest online Lego store by the name of Bricklink and search for pieces. Spending $1,000 on Lego seems pretty outrageous, but my friend Nate from ND Toys offered to give me a 30% discount if I shopped on his store. So I want to give him a huge thanks in this video because he's really saving my butt. And I'm also gonna link both his Bricklink store, which I'm about to order from, and his own website by the name of Brick Owl, where you can also buy tons of minifigures, parts, and sets. If you go to Brick Owl and use code TD15 at checkout, you can save 15% off your next order. Nope, not car insurance, Lego. So go give him some love, go buy some Lego, and let's get to ordering. Not gonna lie, I am a little nervous because I'm about to spend close to $1,000. Since we're making a castle, we need pieces that scream castle to our face. Let's get 20 arches, 50 of these brackets, 100 of these. Honestly, I'm just grabbing for whatever looks interesting. Oh, let's go, they got glizzies. We're automatically gonna have to get some of those. Okay, people, we did it. Our cart is full. This is not daddy's money. So I'm gonna place an order on this now, and we're gonna wait a week. I'll see you on the tripod in a week. Okay, so a few days later, the package arrived on my doorstep. They gave me a free Speed Champion set. Yo, thank you. It was very heavy. What the? Well, here's what $1,000 worth of Lego looks like. Now, we're gonna see what we can build with all this. Timer begins now. Since this is a pretty expensive build, I also expect it to be pretty big, so I'm gonna use 9 32x32 base plates to build on. To start off, I grabbed some regular bricks and I laid out how I wanted the foundation of the castle to look. My next step was to build up the castle walls, but to give detail, I grabbed some modified bricks and even made my own custom ones with extra texture and color. And yep, I made a lot of them. I also threw in some slopes at the base of the wall just to add extra support. From there, it was a few hours of tedious work, but I eventually got the castle walls to be 10 bricks high. To cap them off, I splashed in some inverted slopes and some arches just to add shape and also make it look more fortified. Now that the first floor was done, it was time to add a second, but first I had to throw in some extra support. Now we can start making the second floor. So to get started, I threw in some plates. I then went ahead and added some short walls on the edge of the roof, a common thing I see in castles. Okay, so it's been about 5 hours. This is our current progress, and we still have all of these pieces left. Oh crap, that hurts. I also wanted to add some towers on the corners, so I started elevating the walls while throwing in some windows, and I did that for the front corners. For the rear corners, I went for a circular design, which I made using cylinder bricks, and to finish them off, I added some cool looking roofs. At this point, we had significantly burnt through our pieces, and we had several empty Ziploc bags, but there was still more work to do. I felt like the castle was incomplete without one more tower, but I wanted to make this the biggest of them all. Since I had no bricks left, I had to resort to a sideways building technique, which actually turned out pretty nice. I also threw in some windows and added some more levels. And at this point, it was starting to look pretty fire and worth my money. It just needed some extra touch-ups and a chef's kiss. First, I started adding some landscape and also a functional wooden gate. Yes, sirski, and it does work. Now it was time to continue adding more landscaping, so I threw in some more green plates surrounding the castle. I also wanted to throw in some trees, so I used some leaf pieces and cylinder bricks to make them. I also threw in a few bushes, and I also added some boulders because this boy loves boulders.
I like that boulder.
And to make the castle extra fire, I built some torches and threw them around. And I did a few more touches, and finally I made the rear towers just a little bit taller. Okay, so at this point the castle's pretty much done, but I want to add minifigs, I want to add other like cool stuff. So then I went onto Instagram and asked y'all what I should make, and this is what we got. Someone suggested a market. So here's one that includes 2 vendor stands and 4 containers for some produce and fish. Someone also suggested some people fighting on horses with swords. Also an archery area outside the castle. This is a good opportunity for me to also throw in some forest men. A night with your mom. I've got to say that's a really smart play on words. A dragon breathing fire, and a working catapult. Here's a simple one I'll add to the outside of the castle where some evil knights are trying to get inside. A wizard. Da baby. Let's go. On top of that, I'll also add some horses with carriages. One which is transporting a prisoner who did an illegal building technique, and another which is transporting some delicious glizzies. You can't forget the glizzies, people. I also love old school minifigs, so I'll throw in some of those as well as some other characters to bring this place to life. Donkey! And finally, our castle was finished. I've gotta say, this is a ginormous build, and it turned out way cooler than I thought. But the problem is, I don't know where I'm gonna put this now. I do have some extra pieces because I didn't know how this build would look, but if I actually planned everything out, I could probably save a couple $100. What did I learn from spending $1,000 on interlocking plastic? Well, I mean, you definitely get for what you pay for, but I think I'm just gonna stick to making cheaper $1 ideas. 100,000 likes and I'll do a $2,000 build. Thank you for watching, y'all. Also, we're halfway to 1 million subscribers, so thank you. And to celebrate, I became Spider-Man and helped arrest criminals doing illegal building techniques. Hope you enjoyed. Stay lit, my broskies. In this video, we're gonna look at close to 100 cool, smart, and easy Lego hacks that you can do in 1 minute or less. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so for these first couple hacks, I'm gonna cop a Lego set. But surprisingly, they have nothing to do with the actual set. Instead, we're gonna look at the packaging. The first thing you can do is take the box and turn it into a storage bin for Lego pieces. Look how useful this is. Don't throw away your Lego boxes anymore. If you want, you can also take the cardboard of the box and use it to make different items to go with your Lego. Like a simple tent for a minifig. You can also use it to build something like a table, or you can even make a tiny house for a minifig. Dang, it looks like that bathroom from Shrek. Sometimes on the side of the box, there's a picture of a Lego minifig, so if you cut that out, it almost looks like you have another Lego minifig. You can also build a simple ramp that you can launch cars off of. See, look at everything we did just from that one box. And aside from the box, there's other hacks you can do with the bags. Like for example, you can use it to make an icy looking surface, or you can use it to make the surface of water. Okay, so for this next round of hacks, we're gonna look at cool, smart, and easy ways to use different Lego pieces in ways you probably didn't know. This first piece is a curved wall panel, and if you lay it sideways, you could actually fill it with water and turn it into something like a bathtub. Or if you put a tiny slope piece above water, it looks like there's a shark underneath the water and it's about to attack someone. If you take this yellow crystal piece, you can use it to make French fries. I'm loving it. Or if you take this Lego scrub hat, it looks like a giant dumpling. Another useful Lego piece is a broken eggshell, and because of its interesting, unique shape, you can use it to build something like a beautiful flower. If you have transparent orange pieces, you can actually spread them around a build to make lava. So here's a tiny living room where the floor is covered in it, kind of like what I imagined in my childhood. If you have these palm leaves, instead of turning them into a tree, you can actually use them to make the roof of a building. Like I built this tropical one that you'd probably see on the beach. If you have a grill piece, you can use it to make other Lego pieces stand up, like this fish that now looks like it's jumping out of water, or these glass pieces to make a window. If you have this Lego lifesaver piece, you can use it for the rim of a basketball hoop, or you can use it for the lid of a toilet. To go with the toilet, you can use a round brick for toilet paper. You can also make toilet paper using the door of a car. And just to make people angry, I put it the opposite way. Or if you take one of these dome pieces, you can use it for a toilet plunger. If you want to make a window look like it's broken, just scatter a bunch of transparent pieces around it. You can also use them to make objects look like they're flying, like this bird. So here's a small build I made. It's an angry anime person breaking through a wall, and there's debris flying through the air. If you take the hilt of a Lego lightsaber, you can use it to make other minifig accessories, like a flashlight or a candle. For this next hack, you can take a hollow round Technic piece and use it as a cup for a minifig. You can also use flat blue pieces to build something like a puddle of water. If you take any flat round piece, you can use it as a plate to hold food. This next trick involves Spider-Man, because if you take his string, you can use it to build something like colorful lights for a party. If you pull rim pieces off the wheel of a car, you can use them for burners on a stove. Another piece on vehicles is a steering wheel. Fun fact, the wheel can actually pop off, and you can use it for many things, like the valve on this oxygen tank. You can also take a tiny wheel off a car and place it on a minifig head to look like a headband. Or if you take a car window, you can use it to build something like a small fish tank. These are small tooth pieces, and if you have a winter themed build, you can use them to make tiny icicles. If you have these curved slope pieces, you can actually use it for a loaf of bread. And if you take a window piece with glass in it, you can build a sink that looks like it's full of water. Or if you take a small horn piece, you can put it in a coffee mug and it looks like the drink is warm and there's steam coming out. If you have a larger horn piece like this in brown, you can use it to build the trunk of a tree. Or you can use a brightly colored antenna piece to build something like a laser for a gun. A chain is another useful piece, and if you have two of them, you can build something like a playground swing for a minifig. This next life hack involves a flashlight. Shoot, I can't see. What is that? Because if you take something like a Lego house, you can actually put the flashlight inside. It makes the house look like it has lights on. Or if you take glow sticks and light them up, you can place them inside of rooms to add lots of color. Nice, it looks like one of those rooms where TikTokers film. Another non-Lego item you can use with Lego are dry erase board markers. If you take any Lego piece, you can draw on it and be able to erase it. So you can use it to make some cool t-shirt designs for a minifig, or you can draw your own facial expressions. If you take a piece of glass, you can draw on it to make one of those futuristic computers you see from the movies. Or you can just recreate one of those dry erase boards from school. Okay, so for this problem, we have to find the derivative of the square root of... Next, let's talk about different Lego hacks that can help you while you're building. If you have a bunch of tiles that aren't lined up properly, you can line them up by squishing them against a table or any hard surface. If you have two plates stuck together but you don't have a brick separator, you actually don't need one because you can actually take them apart using a brick. And aside from a brick separator, you can also use a crowbar to take pieces off. And another interesting hack is that you can actually connect Duplo bricks with normal Lego bricks, and it's pretty satisfying. Next, let's talk about quick and easy Lego builds that you can make in a minute or less. If you take any flat surface and spread tiny gray pieces on top, it turns into a really nice stone surface that makes for great outdoor builds. For this next hack, if you build a small environment and put a frame around it with a minifig inside, it looks like a 3D painting that you can put put on a wall. If you build a small hinge and add 2 yellow tiles on each end, you can make one of those floors wet signs that you see in bathrooms. You can use the same hinge to make a pizza box or a tiny book for a minifig. If you want to improve your Lego guns, you can take this round plate with a bar on the side and attach it to the end of the gun to give it an extra handle. If you want to build yourself a flag but don't have the official Lego piece, you can build your very own using a clip and some small plates. For this next trick, you can take thin plates and stack them at different angles to make a spiral staircase. Okay, this next trick is illegal, but if you take tiles and place them down halfway on a plate, you can use this to make shingling on a roof. If you want to make a cool background for a Lego build, just take a base plate and lay it sideways, then you can fill it with random things like a house, some clouds, and the sun. It's quick to build and it doesn't use that many pieces. And for this final round of hacks, we're gonna look at cool, smart, and easy things you can do with Lego minifigs. If you take a Lego turban piece and a minifig head, you can combine them together to make what looks like a baby. Or if you take a Lego top hat, you can use it as a pot for plants. And if you take a chef hat, you can actually use it to make something like a mushroom. Now, brown Lego pieces are known for breaking easily, so if you have a brown hair piece that's broken, you can use it to give a minifig a clapped hairline. If you take a 1x1 brick, it actually fits perfectly on a minifig's hand. And with that, you can turn his hand into a robotic arm that can hold different types of accessories. Like, for example, this saw. Or if you put a green hand piece inside of a brick, it looks like a tiny plant that just started growing. If you take this round stud piece with a hole in the middle, you can actually fit it between a minifig's hand and its arm. And now it looks like he's wearing an expensive watch. Another thing you can do with Lego minifigs is rotate the legs around. Then you can make it look like it's bowing down and worshiping you. This is a Lego Woody minifig. He's much larger than a normal minifig, and so are his arms. So if you take his arms and put it on a normal minifig, it looks like someone's hit the gym. What a giga Chad. Uh-oh, wait, hey ladies, step back. If you take a Lego satchel, you can actually use it to connect random items on a minifig's back, like a gun or a sword. Another minifig accessory is a cape, and if you take one of these, you can use it to make a curtain for something like a shower. If you take a Lego Bugs Bunny minifig and put it in an NBA uniform, he looks like he's from Space Jam. Someone told me a minifig can hold a phone charger, so let's see if that's true. Not sure how this is useful, but that's pretty cool to know. If you take 2 yellow legs and connect it to a hip piece in another color, it looks like underwear. You can also break a Lego minifig into pieces, and it looks like those characters from the Lego games when they die. If you take a transparent minifig head, you can use it to make something like a jar or a lamp. And for this final hack, if you take Lego stud pieces and put them on the back of minifig legs, you can do this. Hey, whoa, chill. Comment what your favorite hack was. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.
Run up the studs, I'm a true Jedi. Connect the bricks like it's the Wi-Fi. I am the top dog. They call me titties, stacking so quick they cannot see me.
Today, I'm gonna build and test 50 small and easy Lego builds you can make with your own Lego at home in only a few minutes or less. So anyway, let's go. First, here's some easy tricks you can do with the Lego minifig. If you have this Lego dome piece, you can place it in front of a minifig, and now the minifig looks like it's pregnant. Another thing you can do is remove a minifig's legs and position it in different ways. This minifig looks like it's kneeling down, this minifig looks like it's meditating, and this minifig looks super depressed. Or if you have this special plate piece, you can use it to build a Lego fight scene and make a minifig look like it's kicking. Or if you have this tiny stud with a hole, you can place it on a minifig's wrist, and now it looks like an expensive watch. This is a giant Lego minifig. It's used as a keychain, and its feet are actually tiny flashlights, which turn on when you push this button on its chest. But it turns out its arms can actually be removed and placed on a regular minifig. So if you do that, your minifig now looks like it's hit the gym. Or if you put studs on the back of a minifig's legs, you can create this. What about simple builds you can make for a minifig? Like this working Lego toilet, which can actually flush stuff. First you load it with poop, then when you pull on this piece underneath, the poop actually flushes like in a real toilet. This is a tiny Lego hoard, and if you place it inside of a small round brick, it looks like a drink cup with a straw sticking out. Or if you have this small Lego container, you can place it on a minifig's back, and it works as a tiny usable backpack that can actually hold items. If you have this round dish piece, you can attach it to a stick, and now you've built a Lego umbrella. Nice. I also built this tiny Lego sleeping bag made from 15 pieces, and it has just enough room inside to comfortably fit a minifig. I built this Lego pogo stick from 6 pieces, and I used this small squishy piece on the bottom to make it bounce. If you have a single Lego hand, you can attach it to a small bar and build your own custom Lego gun. Or if you have this Lego poop piece, it kind of looks like ice cream. If you have 2 small Lego plates, you can put them on a minifig's feet, and now they become skis. I even built this tiny pair of Lego headphones that actually clamp to a minifig's head. These next ideas are simple Lego builds for school. This is a giant Lego ball, and it's used as a literal sun in this planet set. It splits in half, and it's actually hollow inside, which means you can use it as a small container to hold your snacks. If you have a favorite Lego minifig, you can turn it into a keychain. First, attach a small chain to its head, then you can clip it to your backpack and bring it to school with you. If your teacher is extremely boring and you're having trouble staying awake in school, I even built this simple Lego contraption which latches to your head and pulls your eyes back, that way you don't fall asleep. You can even use basic Lego pieces to draw shapes, like this round plate to draw a circle. You can use a long plate to draw a straight line, and I even built this simple tool using 4 pieces which can draw perfect circles at different sizes. If you have a single Lego tire from a car, the rubber that it's made from can actually be used as an eraser. If you have a pen, you can actually remove the small tube inside full of ink. And if you place round Lego bricks around it, you can build your very own Lego pen, which you can even attach your favorite Lego minifig to. If you have trouble waking up for school, you can scatter Lego bricks on the floor next to your bed, which will help you wake up in the morning. These next ideas are tiny Lego weapons. First, I built this Lego crossbow, which literally is made from 3 pieces. Let's try testing it on this fruit. Oh my gosh, I would not want to be standing in front of that. This next Lego weapon is a tiny gun made from 9 pieces. It uses a tiny stud as a bullet, which you load into the front of the gun. Then when you're ready to shoot, you push this pin in the back and it'll push the stud out the front. That's what you get for not giving me a Lamborghini. I also built this tiny satisfying pocket knife. You can actually push the blade in and out of the handle. And this next weapon's pretty dumb, but if you take brick separators and tape them to your fingers, they look like giant claws. There's even more random things you can do with Lego. Like if you have some base plates, you can connect them in a straight line and use it as a ramp to race your Lego cars. Okay, for these next few Lego builds, we're gonna look at small, simple, and easy things you can build to use in the snow. Starting with the satisfying Lego vehicle, which uses an actual motor inside that can transport a Lego minifig. Wow, this is the most random thing I've ever built, but it actually works. You'll rate my tripod setup. This next idea is a Lego device to build perfectly round snowballs. And it uses the exact same piece we used to build the snack container. I even built this tiny Lego sled, which can seat 3 minifigs. Okay, next, here's some Lego builds you can fidget with. Starting with this satisfying button pushing toy. It uses this sliding piece on the bottom to push the buttons up and down. You can even build a small hammer and turn it into a simple game of whack-a-mole. I also built this satisfying Lego toy that actually flies. It uses this tiny propeller that you place on the top, and using this crank with gears, you can spin the propeller so fast that it literally lifts off the ground and flies. These next ideas are Lego builds you can use every day, starting with this tiny massage tool, which uses these 2 car wheels. If you have 2 brick separators, you can tie them together with a rubber band, and now you can use it as a working clamp for a bag of chips. This next idea is a simple Lego balance made from 20 pieces. It uses basic science. You place any 2 items on it, and using gravity, it will tell you which one weighs more. Nice. Okay, let's try your mom next. I also used car wheels to build this pair of life-size Lego headphones, which can fit perfectly on your head. This is a working Lego safe. When you try opening it, nothing happens. But when you turn this round piece in the front, the door then unlocks. And to do that, I built this satisfying lock on the inside. There's even space inside to put all your money. And for the final coolest item, I built this special device that will scroll on your phone using this piece I wrapped in aluminum foil. Wow, now I can doom scroll hands-free and consume content 10 times faster. Okay, these next ideas are small Lego mini games, starting with mini Lego bowling. You get this tiny ball, and to build the pins, I use these small cone bricks. This next minigame is a Lego basketball catapult game. I built this tiny hoop and this tiny catapult to launch the balls. This next minigame is very easy because it's meant for literal babies. And for this one, you're given 3 different shapes and you have to place them in the proper hole. Wait, doesn't that count? It technically fit, guys. I also built this mini Lego boxing game. I built this tiny arena to fight, and these 2 sticks that you attach a minifig to. And using the sticks, the minifigs can fight until one of them gets knocked out. This next minigame is Lego Angry Birds. I built this small Lego tower made from these very fragile pieces that don't actually connect. And to knock it down, I built this giant Lego catapult, which can launch these huge boulders. I also built mini Lego pool. I built this tiny pool table, this tiny stick to hit the balls, and the actual balls are these tiny studs. Another mini game is mini golf. So I built a life-size Lego mini golf ball that you could actually use in real life. So let's take it to an actual golf course and see if it works. And for this final mini game, I built a tiny maze for a ball. You place the ball on the top, and using gravity, it moves through the entire course. And for these final few Lego ideas, I built some satisfying working Lego machines, like this working ATM machine. First, you open this door on the side and load it with Lego money. Then when you're ready to receive the money, you twist this piece on the side, which spins this wheel inside the machine that spits the money out. This next machine is a simple Lego dispenser for snacks. First, you load the snacks in this clear container. Then when you pull this piece beneath it, the snacks will dispense out the bottom. I also built this machine, which dispenses tiny soda cans. First, you load the cans in the machine, and when you're ready to receive them, you pull this tiny piece underneath. And for this final machine, I built one that dispenses actual liquid. First, you load the liquid in this top container, you place a cup beneath it, then when you're ready, you pull this piece in the back, and the liquid begins pouring. By the way, I'm not home right now, so I filmed basically this whole video on this. Subscribe, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.
Good cop, bad cop, he looking for me. Police in the rear for illegal techniques. I be with my ninja, one red, one blue. Master of spinjitzu, my sensei name is Woo.
In this video, I challenged myself to make 100 random ideas in Lego. The problem is that I only have 10 minutes to show them all, so let's go. Okay, so we only got 10 minutes to talk about 100 different things, so we got no time to waste, people. Okay, so starting with idea number 1, this is a simple impossible triangle that I used bricks and plates to make. If you step back far enough and look at a certain angle, it looks like it's all one big Lego piece. This next idea is a life-size lock with a minifig scale key. I think these macaroni pieces work really well. And here's an expensive gaming setup with a chair, PC tower, and a desk with a computer, keyboard, and a mouse. It's a super colorful looking setup as well. Here's a super thick, delicious burger. It's got a tomato, slice of cheese, some lettuce, and a patty. And here's an illegal building technique where you can take a textured circular brick and put it in the middle of a bunch of studs. If you try this trick, you might have the ops on you, so here are some FBI minifigures to go with it. You're welcome. Here's a brick-built wood pencil. It looks just like the ones that you use in school. It even has an eraser on the end. This next idea is a skateboard ramp for all my skater bros. You can do some pretty cool tricks on this thing. And here's a custom jetpack you can put on the back of a minifigure. It's even got adjustable little rockets on the back. My favorite arcade game would probably have to be the driving simulation one, so I recreated that arcade game right here. And here's a small top that can keep you entertained. You can spin it and let that thing whip. And here's a singular cactus that would probably look good in a Wild West build. I love street food, so this is a New York style hot dog stand. And here's a cool trick where you can dislocate the leg pieces from a minifig and then reposition it in this interesting crouching position. Guy looks really depressed. And here's a brick built penguin. To be specific, I think this is an emperor penguin. For all my gym bros, here's a dumbbell rack. To make the actual dumbbells, I use the wheels on a skateboard. Just a nice little touch. Here's a cool hot tub that makes a 6x6 space. Just a nice place to relax and chill. You can actually make a cool looking ball using these weird inverted circle pieces, a bunch of flowers, and these modified bricks with studs on each side. And here's a larger ball I made using the same modified bricks, but using a lot of plates. And I made it look like a small version of the Earth. And this next idea is a micro scale steam locomotive, and I used these delicious looking ice cream pieces for the smoke. Yes sir, eat that ice cream. Here's a smooth curvy couch you can sit a minifig down on. I used half cylinder pieces to make the armrest. Here's a quad bike with some lights on the front, a flag on the back, and a seat for one passenger. And this is a custom foldable pizza box you can make using some hinge pieces. Here's a micro scale house with a large driveway, a tree on the side, and a flagpole. Going back to some old trends, here's a cool looking hoverboard you can have a minifigure stand on top of. And here's a PlayStation 5. The shaping of the real thing is really odd, so I just made a small simple version right here. Here's a small catapult using some Technic pieces, and you can actually shoot a cylinder brick with this thing. And here's Dory. I had to put Dory in this video because it's been a while. Here's a cartoony looking sheep with some big eyes, and to make it look fluffy, I added some white plates around it. Here's a drum set. I got a lot of colors, so it's like something you could bring to a hype concert. And here's a SoundCloud rapper making a music video. You can tell it's pretty low budget. This next idea is a small kayak, but I recently discovered it can also be used as a stand-up paddleboard. Here's an easy way you can make a tank in Lego. It only requires 3 pieces, including this minifig hand for the gun up on top. And here's how to make a boat of water. And here's a go-kart with a giant exhaust on the back. It almost gives me Mario Kart vibes, but that was unintentional. And similar to a go-kart, here's a lawnmower. You can actually put eyeballs on brick separators, so I think it's just like a funny little touch that you can do. You can also make a cool looking cube with studs on all sides, and you only need 3 of these modified bricks. And here's Sacred Bricks' YouTube channel. Just kidding, I would never do my boy like that. Here's a tiny futuristic robot that's a little shorter than a minifigure. One of those bots you can kind of treat like Alexa and have it do chores for you. This is a very modern bed design. It's got a wood frame, 2 bed tables on each end, and some lighting. This is a doghouse. Kind of looks like Snoopy's from Charlie Brown, but with owning a dog comes a lot of poop. You can make a soda can in Lego by taking a cylinder brick and slapping a flat stud on top. Green looks like Mountain Dew, red looks like Coca-Cola, and blue looks like Pepsi, but that's all opinion. And here's a washing machine plus a dryer all combined in one. This right here is a DJ table. It's got loads of buttons and it's got 2 records. And to go with it, here are some large studio speakers so that people can hear that fire music. This is a small minifig scale blender, and I used some studs inside as fruit. Here's a minifig scale drone, and I did use handcuff pieces to make the little rotors. I recently discovered this, but you can actually use this flimsy rubber piece as an eraser. Not sure why I ever would, but it's just a random fact. Okay, so now that we're halfway done with the video, let's take some time for a quick speed run. I went to Instagram and I asked y'all what I should make, and these are 20 random ideas that you recommended. Someone recommended making something Marvel related, so here's a small scale Iron Man Infinity Gauntlet from Avengers Endgame. I used transparent pieces for the stones. Rip Iron Man. Since I'm talking about Marvel, here's also a custom Dr. Octopus minifigure. I made this a few videos back, and it even has some custom robotic tentacles that I use these Technic pieces for. Make a Lego backpack. Well, here's a simple one you can put on a minifigure. It's even got a walkie-talkie attached to it. This is a pretty sus request, but someone wanted me to make an Among Us character, so here you go. And while I'm already at it, fun little fact, this Lego piece right here looks just like an Among Us character. Super coincidental. Someone recommended making Lego guns, so here's a custom-built rocket launcher. And here's also a minigun. Both can be held by minifigures, but tell me which one you like more. Here's a small kitchen in a 2x6 space. It's got a small refrigerator, a sink, and an oven with a stovetop. My boy Brandon suggested building a Lego. Someone told me to make myself in Legoland Miniland scale. I've actually never made a Legoland scale character before, so here's the most accurate version of me I guess I can make. I've got no face. This was a really cool but challenging suggestion, but I love challenges. Here's an iPhone. It's got 8 applications, but the only issue is that it's stuck on the screen. And I called tech support. They can't do anything about it. And to go with the iPhone, someone recommended that I make some AirPods. So here's some really simple ones. Someone suggested making a pair of usable sunglasses. So this was my best attempt. They do fit on my face, but the pieces poke my nose like crazy. I don't recommend it. A little cheesy, to be honest. And here's a smart car which can fit a singular passenger. Someone said to make a Lego brick, so here's a giant Lego brick made out of Lego bricks.
Wow.
And someone also suggested making a puzzle, so here's an easy version you can make with some plates and tiles. Make something from Fortnite. Well, here's a miniature scale battle bus. It's even got the balloon on top. And speaking of buses, I know some of you probably don't play Fortnite or don't give 2 craps about the game, so here's a regular bus for those curious. Make a Mr. Beast video. Very interesting request, but here's the best I can do. Last person to take their hand off the treasure chest keeps the gold. Someone wanted me to make chicken nuggets, so since I love chicken nuggets, here's some brick built ones. And this guy apparently wants to be in the video, so Here you go, my guy. I'm feeling nice today. Also, a lot of you asked me to make my mom, so you know what? I'm gonna turn this the other way around, because this next idea is yo mom. Ooh. Oh, feel that burn. And this is a tiny bunny that only uses 3 pieces to make. Okay, I really like this design. It's a super iced out watch that's got that extra drip. If you're a rapper, this is what you need to flex. There's gold digits to tell the time, and it also has Lego money on the wristband just to really flex how much cash you got. And who makes a lot of money? LeBron James. So I gave him a basketball hoop so he can shoot his shots. And this is a really small scale book. Here's a modern fireplace that would look great in a modern house. I have some firewood to go with it. This next idea is an outdoor swing connected by some rope, so you can really play around with this thing. In Lego, Woody is way taller than Buzz for some reason, so just to keep Buzz more confident about his height, you can give him a big head. Here's a brick-built bird. It's like a crane. And here's a minifig scale tripod that you can put a camera on top of. And I'm editing this video on a Mac right now, so here's a brick-built Mac. It's also got a keyboard and mouse to go with it. Here's how you make a glass bottle. Take 1 stud, 1 transparent cone brick, and 1 flat stud, then connect them all together. And here's a bird box, which is also on a tall pole. I also made a ladder. It's got some struts as well as some painting supplies on the top. And here's a minifig scale toy plane where I used some canoe paddles to make the propellers. This one is a very aesthetic Japanese blossom tree. This would look really good in an oriental themed build. And this is a refrigerator, not any ordinary refrigerator, because this one actually has a screen on it so that you can watch your favorite TV show as you're cooking. And here's another couch design. This one's slightly different though because it actually reclines, so you can turn this into a bed. Okay, so earlier I showed an iPhone, but I want to go back 20 years, so here's an old school flip phone. It's got a bunch of buttons on it and tons of storage space just to hold all those girls' numbers you're gonna get from having this phone. Absolutely disgusting. And here's a toilet, but to make things go downhill, I put some purple 1980s carpet underneath it. So for all my guys, you don't want to miss the seat. This is a minifig scale jet ski that can fit 1 passenger. Just a cool little water sport vehicle. And here's a chainsaw. This is a punching dummy for boxing. I used a blank torso and minifig headpiece for this. And here's a Karen that probably didn't get her 2 pumps of vanilla. Careful though, she might report you to her 13 Facebook followers. And here's a rug design I made using an illegal sideways building technique, and it uses some cheese slopes for extra texture. And here's how to make a basic clock design. This is a worm in Lego. Just take some 1x2 plates and studs and connect them together in this pattern, and boom. You have a very flimsy little worm. And here's how you can make some basic nunchucks. Take some bar pieces and connect them together by a short chain. This is a really basic idea, but you can actually use a minifig hand to grab onto an Apple iPhone charger. Not sure if this will ever be useful, but just a random fact. Here's an Oreo cookie. And lastly, for our 100th idea, I want to save this one last because I actually had to order pieces and wait a long time just so I could put this together. But here's an icy gold chain with a shiny gold Lego brick on it. This is the ultimate flex, people. You literally have money dancing on your neck. And it looks like we finished just on time, people. Comment down below what your favorite ideas were. 15,000 likes and I'll do a part 2. This was a fun video to make, so I hope y'all enjoyed. Stay spicy. This is a Lego hot dog, this is a barrel, and this is a rice farmer hat. But what if I told you that you can use these exact same pieces to make a tree, a Japanese building, and an AK-47? Bruh. Today I'm going to be taking several Lego pieces and using them in ways people would not expect. Starting with this microphone. If you take one, you can make a door handle. And on the same build, you can see I used a paint roller for a porch light. If you don't have a microphone, you can use a ball joint. And if you don't have a microphone or a ball joint, you can make a door handle from a tiny antenna that goes on this Boba Fett minifig. Or you could literally use a gun. It also rotates just like a door handle. If you have one of these special plates with extra studs on the side, you can replace it with the hips of a minifigure, attach the legs, and with that, you can put it in some cool positions like have it do the splits or a flying sidekick. Here's a nature build, and I use several tricks here. For the trunk of the tree, I used an antenna, which helps add support and also lets the tree bend like in real life. On the ground, I used a blank minifigure head to make a mushroom. I also made a second mushroom, but for this one, I used a Technic gear and an animal horn to have it tipped over. To go with this tree, we can add some dead leaves. I can use minifigure hands and these pointy teeth pieces. I also use these teeth pieces to make a hay roof for a tropical hut like this. And you can also use horn pieces to make the tip of a gas can. Now it's time for a quick speed round. I went to Instagram to have you guys name me random Lego pieces, then see what I can make with them. First piece is a hot dog, aka glizzy. I'm not capping, you can actually use a hot dog to make a gun. I also discovered you can use it to make a crossbow. If you take some minifigure hands, you can also use it to make a Japanese gate. It kind of looks like that, I guess. Next piece is a Harry Potter wand. Well, if you take some, you can make legs for a table. How about tiles? Well, if you take square ones that have graphics, they kind of look like album covers, and you can actually make a small vinyl collection. What about Technic pieces? Well, if you take this weird one, put a flame inside of it, lay it down, then you have a campfire. Can I be in the video? Sure. What about chains? You can make a fence, or you can use it as jewelry on a minifig. My boy looking pretty drippy. What about a bucket? If you take one and remove the handles, you can make a flower pot. And with these leftover handles, you can make legs on a chair. And to make the back of the chair, I used this tile with a triangular tip. Someone suggested a sword. Well, if you take these Minecraft swords, they actually interlock and it's super satisfying, and you can make some cool artwork with them. Speaking of Minecraft, you can also take a trident and make a fence. As we continue discussing our tricks, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. You've probably heard almost every big YouTuber say that, but that's right. We've officially made it, people. We actually got sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. By the way, if you take skateboard wheels, you can use them as dumbbells. It's a free action-packed mobile and PC game where you can take the role of over 600 different warriors with unique skills, build a team, battle, defend, and conquer. Also, if you take a loaf of bread, you can make a sailboat. You won't get bored because the game constantly updates. For example, Raid has an amazing game mode, Doom Tower, which brings loads of challenges and terrifying bosses to fight. Also, if you take gray hair, you can use it as a mop. From now till November 5th, there's an exclusive Halloween event for new players where you have the chance to win legendary champions and even real-life prizes like $1,000 Amazon gift cards. It's totally free. You just need your Raid player ID, so head to trickortreat.polarium.com, spin a wheel, and get a prize. And if you take minifigure hands, you can use it for a coffee machine. Okay, now it's time you go play Raid Shadow Legends. Click my link or scan this QR code, and if you're a new player, you can unlock a free starter pack worth $30, including one champion and a load of loot. Rewards will only be in your inbox for the next 30 days only. Anyway, let's go back to becoming master builders. What about ice cream? Well, I made a snow-covered bush that uses 3 of them. Right next to it, I also used these car wash pieces to make a frosty-looking tree. But going back to ice cream, you can also use it to make bubbles. I also took some levers, broke them apart, and used the bottom of them to hold glass pieces. It's an illegal building technique, so cops about to pull up, but if you take the bottoms of these levers, you can also make a cool-looking flower. And to hold this flower, you can see I used a minifigure cup as a base. But if you want other ways to hold flowers, you can straight up use a bowl. If you have window frames, you can use them as legs on a table, and since you have leftover glass, you can use it to make water. It adds a glistening effect, just like water in real life. This is Asian Man. If we take his hat, we can use it to make a cool oriental themed build like this. You can also use a dish piece just like this. Speaking of dish pieces, you can also make a satellite dish, or you can make an umbrella. And on this table are some paper plates I made using some round tiles with a stud in the middle. Now going back to the Asian build, I took some of these rotating pieces, broke them apart, and used the bottom of them to make some cool looking windows. And with these pieces, you can also make something like a milk crate. You could also make custom windows if you take panels and place them sideways. Okay, now it's time to ask my fellow Lego bro, Sacred, what tricks he can share to my fans. Okay, I'm trying to find 100 Lego tricks, and I need some ideas. Do you have any?
Yes, I do.
Here are some of the greatest Lego tricks you will ever feast your eyes on. First thing we have is a chair. So the way I built this chair was by putting fang pieces inside holes and then connecting that to the chair to make it elevated. And if you want a Lego minifigure with a really long neck, you can actually add a cone piece of the same skin color. This is a special one. I thought about this on the spot. If you use a brown ice cream piece, you could use it to represent poop.
Shout out to my boy Sacred. Thanks for that free content. What about cherries? There's this game I used to play as a kid called Ladder Ball, where you try to get a bunch of strings and balls on the end to wrap around a bar. So I made my own in Lego. This is a barrel, and it has really cool texture on the side. So if you take enough of them, you can actually make a tree like what I did here. If you only have one barrel, you can still make a tree. All you have to do is take some poles, put them inside, add some leaves, and just to hold everything together, you can use these Indiana Jones whips. This is a 2-piece, and if you take off the arms of the torso like this, shove one of these through, then add hands, you can make flimsy arms. Definitely doesn't look like this guy hits the gym though. If you have these weird looking pieces, you can take the same torso, shove these inside, then you have 2 spots you can connect things to, so you can get creative and make something like a human cyborg. Kind of like Mark Zuckerberg. These are vertical hinges, and aside from being hinges, you can take them apart to make a medieval window. On the back of these hinges is a tiny spot where the top is exposed, so you can use it for extra detail in a wall. You can also use these hinges for wheels on a cart, and I also used plates with an extra lip for drawer handles, and this round tile with a bar on the top for a bottle of water. And you can use this same piece to make a candlestick, or an ink bowl for a hat plume, which also looks like a feathered calligraphy pen. Here's a dude getting a fresh cut. I used used a cape for the blanket thing that the barber puts around your neck and is supposed to catch your hair. And for the chair he's sitting on, I used 2 guns for armrest. This is a hinge plate. When you fold it in either way, a half of a circle appears on the edge, so it makes a good drawer handle. I also used the hollow part of this brick for extra storage. And I also took a fez, which is a type of hat, and used it as a lamp. Here's a bed. I used tiny slopes and laid them down sideways to make detailed sheets. And I also used a larger white slope for a pillow. Here's a tiny bathroom, and there's several tricks we can get from this. First off, I used a cooking pot for a toilet bowl. I also used a lifesaver for the toilet seat. And if we look at the sink, I used a bowl for the sink bowl. I used a gun piece for the faucet, but I realized you can take a frog and that also looks like a faucet as well. You can also use a lifesaver as a door on a washing machine. Here's an old building, and there's 10 tricks I used here. First, I used ingot bars for bricks, and since the edges are bezeled, I used them to replicate cracks in the wall and the floor. I also made the wall look cracked using studs, rounded plates, these rounded tiles. I also used these corner tiles to make the ground look cracked. Yeah, just lots of cracks. I used faucet pieces and minifigure legs to improve the facade, and also took transparent pieces and made broken glass. And I finessed a lightsaber in order to make this drain pipe on the side. Definitely wouldn't want to meet someone for a Craigslist deal in this type of alleyway. What can we do with grills? First off, we can make a vent. Kind of sus. You can also use them for keys on a piano. I also learned that if you take an arch and look closely, there's a lot of empty space underneath, so you can actually take grills, fit them underneath, and you can make a window. Okay, last 10 tricks. Here we go. The most useless Lego pieces you can probably ever own in your life are broken pieces, right? Well, I'm about to prove you wrong, because even these pieces can be used to make something like a rotten hardwood floor that looks straight out of a horror movie. I also found this hollow transparent ball that cracks in half. You can use this for an astronaut helmet, but if you put colorful studs in it, you can also make a gumball machine or even use it for a street lamp. What can you do with crates? Other than hold stuff like they're intended, they have unique patterns on the side, so you can take advantage of that and use them to make something like this bookshelf. This is a round plate, but it's special because it's got points all around it you can clip things to. If you add transparent plates around it, you can make a luxurious chandelier that only a super rich person could probably afford. You can also use transparent tiles to make a lantern. What about a net? You can thread it through some studs and make a trampoline. Another flimsy piece is the string, but if you take 2 of them, you can make a suspension bridge. And for the railing, I used some skeleton arms. Wow, and it looks like that finishes our 100th trick. But since it took me forever to make this video, here's a few bonus ones. Here's some tiny slopes, but you can use them to make the armrest of a couch. You can also use them to make a pair of shoes, or you can take a minifigure, remove its legs, and make it look like it's kneeling down. These are rounded 1x2 plates, and if you take 2 of them, you can make a pair of slippers. You can also use them to make a heater. What can we do with a pair of roller skates? Well, it turns out they look like miniature cars, or they also look like exhaust tips on a car. On the same car, I also used a pair of Technic hinges for side mirrors, and I think binoculars can also look like exhaust tips on a car, but you can use them to extend the length of a gun. What about a telescope? If you take enough, you can make railing for a house. And for the last bonus trick, you can take a transparent dome, fill it with studs, and you have a water dispenser. And I also used cone pieces for cups. Guys, please give this video a like, because your boy's in a foreign country, and I still made the effort to make this video even on vacation. Also, we're almost at 1 million subscribers, so go onto your girlfriend's and your parents' YouTube account and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you later. In this video, we're going to be talking about 15 dumb, weird, and unordinary, but smart ways to take your Lego minifigs and use them in some cool ways. Enough talking, let's go. Here's a really easy trick that you can do to your minifigures, and pretty much it makes them look like a crab. Did you know that you can actually stick minifig hands into the holes of minifig legs? Once you connect both legs, you can actually stick them to the bottom of the torso, and bing bong, you have a very creepy minifig. Do you have any scrap hands lying around? You can actually use it to improve your Lego guns. You can put them on big guns, small guns. They pretty much add just a little extra flavor. It just makes the gun look so cool. Like, I feel like I'm John Wick or like James Bond. This one is super dumb, so dumb that I considered not even putting this in the video, but pretty much you take a bunch of minifigs, take their hats off, and then you can connect them in a circle. I remember doing this a lot as a kid, so maybe I can remind the young ones out there. It's kind of satisfying, you can roll it around and stuff. A lot of people don't know this, but you can actually remove the printing on Lego parts from a basic eraser. This is the one that I use for college. Grab a minifig part you don't care about and just start rubbing it with the eraser, and then after a while, you'll actually see the printing come off, and then you'll have a blank head. Now, why exactly would you want to do this? I'm gonna explain right now. Melons. Yep, that's right, melons. If you want to make some custom melons, just take a few blank yellow minifig heads with no printing, put some green flowers on top for the stems, and boom, you got a melon garden. Looks absolutely delicious. I mean, come on guys, it's almost spring. Time for those fruit to start growing.
Water the melons, I must.
If you're building like a clothing store, you can make some mannequins. Again, you can use a blank minifig head, or you can just use a regular head. Just flip it backwards so you can't see the printing, and then cover the printing with some sort of hat or some sort of hairpiece. Similar to mannequins, you can make a stone statue to commemorate a very important person. All you need is a full minifig body in all gray. So gray head, gray hair, gray torso, and then gray pants. To finish it off, you can even add a little stone structure for it to stand on, just to make it look extra important. If you have any blank white heads, you can actually use them to make a baby. Use the white head for the body of the baby, like the little clothing, and then use a regular minifig head for the head of the baby. But please, don't add hair to the baby. You know the cliche, smooth as a baby's head. That's because babies have bald heads, just like Dwayne Johnson. If you have any transparent heads, you can use them to make some lamps. I've got 3 designs here. The first one is a small bed table lamp that literally uses 3 parts. This other one is a floor lamp. If you want to get really spicy, here's a street lamp. This is probably my favorite one. You can also use transparent minifig heads for vases. Just take a transparent head, add some flowers on top, and it's a very aesthetically pleasing build. You can even use this as a jar, or you can even use this as like a half shield in Fortnite. A problem that I have with minifigs compared to like action figures is that there's not very many movable parts, like the legs can only move forward or back. But what if you want to do something more than that? Well, here's 2 cool minifig positions that you can do. This first one is a yoga position, where I just disconnected the legs from the hips, and the second one is a person kneeling down. Here I used 2 1x2 slopes to make a skirt for this minifig. It looks more realistic than just having the person sitting down, and it looks very good for the female minifigs. If you want to make a minifig taller, then you can go ahead and just add extra 1x2 bricks between the legs and torsos. You can add 1x1 bricks on the feet, or you can just use 1x1 cylinder bricks on the head. I would not want to be using the public bathroom when this guy's around, because he'll probably be so tall that he can actually see me over the bathroom stall doors. So, kinda sus. If you made custom guns and you still have more minifig hands laying around, then you can use them as stubby branches on a tree. Super random, makes a really subtle difference, but a very effective one in my opinion. Nothing should go to waste. You might as well put these minifig hands to use. And this has got to be one of my favorite tricks. You can simply take minifig pants and torsos with the arms taken off and hang them up on a clothes rack. So this is cool if you're making like some kind of closet in a house, or if you're making like a clothing store. If you think about it, you have minifigs sitting around that have been just wearing the same outfit for years, and that's super depressing, so you might as well give them some new clothes to wear. What was your favorite Lego trick in this video? Comment down below what you want to see next, and subscribe because I add fresh content to the channel weekly. I have other top 10, top 5, top 7, top 15, whatever, other top videos in the card above, so click that. I'll see you in the next video, so stay spicy. Thank you for watching, and keep on building.
Get ready to rock and roll! Like and subscribe! Like and subscribe! Like and subscribe! Like and subscribe! Like, subscribe! Like, subscribe!
In this video, I'm gonna use Lego to recreate and test over 10 trendy, popular, and iconic childhood toys. Let the challenge begin. The first toy that I want to build is a Nerf gun. So for reference, here's a Fortnite pistol that shoots single foam bullets. So I'm gonna try building my own Nerf gun in Lego. So I made this working trigger using a rubber band, and I want this thing to be colorful so it looks just like a real Nerf gun. To use the gun, you basically pull the sliding piece in the back and it locks into place until you pull the trigger, and that will let this piece slip and push the bullet out the gun. Oh yeah, I'm about to take all those dubs now with this. But I want to put this gun to the test, so I built 3 different targets out of Lego, and let's try shooting them down. What the heck is this? My favorite toy aside from Lego are Hot Wheels, and I actually love collecting these. So how about we try building these in Lego? I want the size to be very similar to an actual Hot Wheel. So I built this tiny red sports car that's only 4 studs wide. And I want to put this thing to the test, so I copped a bunch of these Hot Wheel tracks that connect, and I built a giant ramp going down my stairs with a big loop and a jump at the end. And okay, alright, it's going, it's going. Let's see if it can finish this course. Come on, make the jump at the end. Let's go! Another popular toy are Barbies. Fun fact, but over 20 years ago, Lego sold a bunch of these figures that look just like Barbies. Lego stopped selling these a while ago, so I went ahead and bought this used one off the internet. And to prove that this is Lego, it literally connects to it. They're a lot bigger than a normal Lego minifig, and they also have lots of joints. But I want to build this Barbie her own dream home. First, I'm going to build the outside of the house, so I added this large window with flowers and this pink door. Now, pink seems to be a popular Barbie color, so turning the build around, I'm going to make the inside of the house where almost everything in here is pink. I feel so zesty building this right now. There's a couch, dining area, this kitchen with a refrigerator, sink, and an oven with a chicken being cooked inside. And I want to give our Barbie girl a hobby, so here's an art easel where she can paint. Also, I searched the internet and I copped this knockoff Barbie themed Lego set. Basically, it's a giant pink car. It's made from almost 1,000 pieces, and it's actually the perfect size to fit the minifig we bought earlier. Oh my gosh, this whip be looking so fresh. Also, I really am playing with a Barbie toy right now as a grown man. But come on, y'all, I did it for the content. Oh no, we need car insurance. Wow, the car and the house actually look really good together. This would actually make a hard album cover. A remote-controlled car is another popular toy. But to my surprise, Lego actually made their own version of one. So I bought this discontinued $100 Lego set. Basically, it's a small dune buggy with giant off-road tires. It's very bouncy, and it's got a battery box with a computer inside. And using an app on your phone, you can actually connect to the thing and control it. So I brought it outside, and let's test to see how good this thing is. Okay, let's see if it can handle this ramp. Let's go! Yes, okay, what about this one? Wow, that was a lot of fall damage. Also, my GoPro just cracked. Okay, for this next test, let's see if it can drive over a pile of Lego bricks. Go, go, go.
Nope.
We're gonna need to get some speed on this one. And for this final experiment, I'm gonna drive the thing down this playground slide. Let's hope there's not a kid in here. Here it comes. Okay, after all that building, I need to go outside, and also I need more ideas. So I ran to the store to see what toys they have. What the heck is this? Doo-doo kangaroo. What do kids play with now these days? Then I used my mom's credit card and took them back to the studio. Wow, I feel like Ryan's Toys reviews right now. The first toy that I bought at the store were Beyblades. Basically, they're tiny spinners that can fight with each other, then they break apart when they die. Point! And after searching the internet, I found these small tops from old Lego Ninjago sets. Basically, you take two of them, put a minifig on each one, let them spin, and the minifigs will actually fight each other. But they keep falling off my table, which is really annoying. So instead, I'm gonna build my own custom Lego battle arena, and now they can fight with each other. Dang, the old wise man keeps winning. I think he's the Dragon Warrior. Another toy is a magic 8-ball. Basically, you ask it a question, shake it, and then it will tell you an answer. I want to make one of these myself in Lego, so I built this round black ball. And inside is a slot to put this two-sided plate, green for yes and red for no. And when you shake the ball, it flips on a random side. So all we have to do now is just ask it a question. Do I have good riz?
Nope.
Another toy are G.I. Joes. Basically, they're these tiny green plastic army men. And Lego actually makes their own. They come from this old Toy Story set. Uh-oh, I'm starting to get flashbacks. These are like those toys that kids make epic imaginary battles with. And using a piece of paper and some dental floss, I built this parachute. Okay, let's see where bro drops. This next toy is called a tech deck. Basically, it's a tiny skateboard that you use with your fingers. I built a simple one in Lego using a few plates and some car wheels without the tires, and it actually works pretty well. But to take this to another level, I'm gonna build a complete skate park for it with some railing to practice my balancing skills, and a giant half pipe that I built using this bendable base plate. Call me the Lego Tony Hawk. Another simple toy that I found at the store is a yo-yo. But instead of spending $10 to buy one of these at the store, what if you can build one for free using Lego pieces you have at home? So I found these giant dish pieces, and taking multiple of them, I built a simple Lego yo-yo design that we can now attach string to, and now we can test it out. Perfect! Yeah, I'm pretty crusty because I've never used a yo-yo before, but it looks like this thing actually works. Another popular toy is a Tonka truck. Basically a small construction vehicle like this dump truck. Now, I want to build my own Tonka truck in Lego, so let me cook real quick. Oh yes! This thing has a giant dump truck bed in the back, and I think this is one of the biggest Lego pieces I've ever seen. But after taking this thing outside, it actually works just like a real dump truck, so I'm very happy. This is probably what Lego people use to build their great cities. Now before we build our final but coolest Lego item, here's a quick speed round of other small toys that I built in Lego. This first one is a Kinder Egg. Oh, sorry. Basically a chocolate egg that has a toy inside. So I built this tiny hollow one in brown to make it look like chocolate, and there's something inside. Ooh, look at that, we got a shiny crystal. I also built this Uno reverse card using different shapes and sizes of plates, and one of those games for babies where you're supposed to put the different shapes in the corresponding holes. I'm accepting scholarships, Harvard. I also built this life-size Lego boomerang using plate pieces. No! It got stuck in the tree. And I also built a pet rock. Yeah, pretty boring. Fidget spinners are another popular toy, and I built 3 of them. This first one looks like a ninja star. This one literally looks like it's on fire. And this last one was also the easiest to make because it just uses minifigs. And finally, this next toy is about to get physical. Because using a long strip of tiny bricks, I'm gonna build a hula hoop. This is extremely illegal. And now we just have to see if this thing will actually work like one. I'm a pro. Come on, go! No! Okay, the thing's extremely flimsy, so it doesn't really work. And for this final toy, I want to build a working Lego Rubik's Cube. I tried building one of these a while back, but failed miserably. But my boy Puzz Lego actually built a working Rubik's Cube himself, and he's letting me try his design. So for the different colors on the cube, I'm gonna use these small plates. And after building all the pieces needed to make this cube, we can put it together and see if it works. Not gonna lie, it's still pretty fragile, but it actually works like a real Rubik's Cube. So that's a big W. Okay, let's try solving it. No! Wow, well, after acquiring all these toys, I feel like I'm Andy from Toy Story. Thanks for giving me the excuse to buy these, by the way. That way I can feel like a kid again. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
You're a Lego girl, got a plastic heart. Think I missed a step, hit the restart.
Today, I'm going to buy, build, and test some of the weirdest and creepiest Lego builds of all time. Each one getting bigger and more cursed, from tiny builds to a giant haunted mansion with multiple rooms and levels. So anyway, let's go. First, let's look at some cursed and creepy Lego items I bought off the internet using my mom's credit card. Starting with this $80 Lego Star Wars set. And after building it, it comes with this giant creature which lives inside the ground. It has these long tentacles that move, these giant teeth using horn pieces, and this mouth which can eat an entire minifigure. The set even comes with this floating ship. It has this plank that extends, which people walk and are sacrificed from. Okay, this next Lego build looks like an old book, but it's actually this weird creature with 4 eyes and teeth, and the book itself is its mouth. So when you pull it back and release it, its mouth moves up and down like it's trying to bite and eat you. But if you look inside, it actually does this using a motor and 4 wheels which move this piece that goes up and down. This next Lego set is one you can no longer buy from Lego, and it's made from 600 or 700 pieces. Okay, the build is finished, and it's Venom's head. His teeth are very pointy, and his tongue is super long, and it literally spins. From these pieces, try to guess what this next Lego set's gonna be. Yep, it's this giant Lego spider. First, it has these 2 giant pinchers in front of its head to bite you. It also has wheels underneath its body, so it can move across the ground. It can even spin actual spider web out of its butt. And on the end of it is this hook. That way you can hang it on random things around your house. Yep, if I found this in my house, I'm selling it and I'm leaving the country. Okay, this next Lego item is this huge T-Rex dinosaur from a 20-year-old Lego set. But what makes the dinosaur creepy is when you turn the lights off, there's a button on top of its head you can push, which makes its eyes glow red. Wow, I'm surprised the battery still works on this. Okay, next we're gonna look at some of the most cursed and creepy minifigures to ever walk the face of Earth. Like this bunny rabbit, which actually looks pretty cute, but when you remove his face, you see this. This next minifig is a human shark. His eyes are further apart than we are from getting GTA 6. And underneath its mask is this creepy head where its mouth literally takes up its whole face. This one has a shark as its head, and we even have this human octopus with literal tentacles as its feet, and underneath its mask is is this creepy face. We got this weird ocean creature, this crocodile looking creature. Half of this guy's face is cooked. Okay, this guy has one eye on his head and one on his chest. And this guy literally has no eyes at all. This one's head glows in the dark, and this one's whole body glows in the dark. We got this creepy alien robot minifig. If ChatGPT was a human, this is what it would look like. This creepy Venom minifig, this human snake, and this one whose head is literally a snake. This minifigure is also pretty creepy, because no matter what you're doing, he's still smiling at you. The next creepy Lego item are these Mario figures. We got Mario himself and Princess Peach. Their face is made using a screen so they can make different expressions. They're bigger than a regular minifig, and they can even interact with Lego pieces. Like this red piece sets Mario on fire. Oh, I just realized no matter where you turn its head, it's looking at you. But what makes these figures creepy is when you turn them off, their eyes go completely black. Mamma mia, this is extremely creepy, and it's crazy because literal 7-year-olds buy this. Okay, next I searched the internet for some of the creepiest characters that I could possibly find, and I'm gonna build them in Lego. Okay, this first character is Freddy Fazbear. Okay, that took 2 hours, but he's finally complete. His arms and his legs can move. I built his ears using this illegal building technique. He has this top hat on his head. I built him a bow tie, and I used these tiny studs for his teeth. Whoa, what the? Wait, someone turn the lights back on. Where'd he go? Okay, on to the next build, and this time it's this cursed sea creature. Okay, the sea creature is finished. I built it so it looks like it's coming out of the water. It has huge eyes and this giant mouth which can swallow a minifig whole. Okay, next build, and this time it's Slender Man. He's a tall man with no face and he wears a suit. So I gave him a blank head and I made him tall by adding bricks on his feet. He also has tentacles on his back, and I even built him a small forest with these trees. That way he can hide behind them and pop out to jump scare random people. Okay, next we're gonna build this creepy looking deer. Okay, the deer is finished. I used literal balls for his eyes. I built his antlers using these horns, and I gave him giant hands so he can grab people. Okay, another build finished. This time we have this creepy fish. Okay, the fish is done. I built it these huge eyeballs. It has giant teeth, and its mouth actually opens. I even built this small light that dangles in front of its head. That way it can attract prey and eat it. There's actually a real fish that looks like this, by the way. Okay, on to the next build, and this time it's this tall skeleton creature. Okay, to build it, I used this skeleton. He has really long arms, and he's 3 times as tall as a minifig, and he has this really weird looking head. Okay, next, I bought some creepy fake Lego sets you can't actually buy from Lego. This first one was $20, and it's made from 500 pieces. And from the looks of it, it's this huge eyeball. Okay, the set's been unboxed, and the very center of the eye is this giant piece. Okay, the eyeball is finished. It has these veins and these blood vessels flowing to it from the back. And the actual center of the eyeball is this sticky piece which attaches to the Lego. And the entire eyeball is covered with this giant clear dome piece. Okay, let's see if it makes a good bowling ball. Great shot! Oh, the pupil popped out though. Okay, we got 4 more knockoff Lego sets, so let's put these together. Okay, the builds are finished, and not gonna lie, I have no clue who's buying some of these. First, we got this weird creature in the shape of a ball. It has tentacles and this giant mouth. This next build is a train with literal legs. We also got this weird robot creature with many eyes and literally 14 arms. Yo, it low-key looks like someone's hair. And finally, we got this weird centipede-looking creature with literally 36 legs. And for the final, biggest but creepiest Lego build yet, I'm gonna build a huge Lego haunted mansion with multiple rooms and levels that we're also gonna send this Lego man in to explore. But first, we need to make this place actually feel creepy. Okay, now we're ready to build. So let's begin by building the outside of the house. Wow, it's a huge house, but it looks super old, like nobody lives in it. I built these broken windows. There's literally plants growing on it, and you'll even find these spiders. But before we build inside, first let's build outside the house. So I first built this small cemetery full of graves. Here you'll find Mr. Beast doing a challenge, and you'll even find dead memes that nobody talks about anymore. I even built this grave, where you push on this piece, and the person underneath comes alive to pop out and jump scare you. I also built a small forest full of dead trees, and hiding behind them are some of the creatures we built earlier. Okay, we're ready to explore the house, and it's completely empty inside. So we're gonna start from the ground floor and work our way up. First, I built this hallway as you enter the house. On the walls, you'll find these creepy paintings, and I even built this secret trap hidden in the floor, where you pull on this piece, and the floor literally falls from underneath you and drops you into this pit full of spiders. Next, I built this room, which looks completely normal, except for these weird holes in the floor. But it turns out the entire room is actually its own trap, because when you push on this piece, literal spikes come from out of the floor. Oh, he's dodging it. He's actually him. And for this third room, I built an indoor swimming pool with a diving board and slide, but you wouldn't want to actually swim here because there's literal slime in the water, and underneath at the bottom of the pool is this giant creature that will literally suck you up and eat you while you're swimming. Okay, now we're ready to move to the second floor and build more creepy rooms. First, I built this room where here all you'll find are literal minifig heads. Okay, there's something very unsettling about this. On the way to the next room, I built another hidden trap, because it turns out this doorway is a literal mouth. So if you can make it past that, you enter this next room, which is the bedroom of the house. I built this bed of nails, and I built this painting, which looks completely normal, but the person in the painting magically becomes dead. And for the final room, I built this creepy bathroom. You can either sit on this toilet with this guy living in it, or you can take a slimy bath with this guy. Yeah, at this point, I'll just hold my crap in. Okay, the entire house is finished, and moral of the story, never come visit. Comment what I should build next, subscribe, thanks for watching.
Purple stars in my bank account, run up the digits, counting up the Lego money like Lord business. Always with my minifigs, I'm with the crew, master spins jitsu, call me Sensei Woo.
In this video, I'm gonna perform simple and easy DIY magic tricks using Lego. Then I'm gonna teach you how to do them yourself. Anyway, let the show begin. For this first magic trick, I'm gonna take this Lego man and make him eviscerate into the universe. Dang, bro really just left the Discord chat. But to do this trick, I actually used a simple mechanism behind my hand that you can't see. Basically, you pinch it with your thumb, and as you bring your hand down, you can lift the minifig off the ground. There's also another way to make a minifig disappear, and to do this, just tape one to your thumb. For this next trick, I built this clear, empty Lego box. But if I slap it down, I can make a Lego brick magically spawn. To do this, I actually attached a Lego brick to the ceiling of the box where you can't see it. Here's a Lego iPhone that I built, and it has several different apps. But for this next trick, I can make the iPhone magically levitate. Now this one's actually really simple. All you need to do is build a long rod using Lego bricks and stick it up your sleeve. If you stand in front of the phone, you're not gonna see it. For this next trick, I can take any Lego minifig and make it magically change its outfit. Okay, this one's actually really simple. I built a wall with a different minifig on each side, and I have this long rod to spin it while my hand moves in front. That was so cool. Let's try that again. Hey, whoa, whoa. Okay, for these next few magic tricks, I'm gonna use Lego sets I copped at the store. For this magic trick, I can take a bag of Lego, put it back in the box, shake it up and give it a nice spanking, and when I open the box back up, the Lego set is put together. All you have to do is build the Lego set beforehand, put fake Lego pieces in the original bag, and just swap the two items from inside the box. This Lego set comes in a single bag, but using the master building power of Emmett, I can shake the bag, and the set can magically put itself together. Again, just finish the Lego set beforehand, but hide it in the corner of the bag you can't see through, and fill the rest with fake pieces. This next trick involves a snack, and no, it's not me, it's a chocolate bar. When I put the chocolate back into the bag, give it a good spin, I can pull it back out, and the chocolate has turned into Lego. To do this trick, I filled the first half of the bag up with real chocolate, and the other half with this fake Lego chocolate that I made using brown pieces. You can use the same concept to build something like this tiny Lego box with two doors. You put something inside, spin it around, you open it, and the item has magically changed. This one's simple, just hide another piece inside. For this next magic trick, I'm gonna eat a Lego brick. Okay, I ate it. But get pranked because turns out I found this Lego candy at the store a few days ago. It looks just like real Lego. Also, it tastes pretty good. Okay, for this next magic trick, I built this working Lego assembly belt that you'd see in a factory. But this machine is very magical because if I put a Lego piece inside of it, it comes out as a different color. All you need to do is just hide the other piece inside. And you can use this trick in different ways, like making a Lego piece grow, changing a minifig head's facial expression, or you can just straight up use it to cook some delicious food. There's a lot of tricks you can do with a single Lego brick. For example, if you take 2 bricks, hold them together, it looks like 1 Lego brick, so then you can pretend to split it in half. You can also take the studs on a brick and wipe them off. And to do this one, I just moved a plate piece off the top. This next trick involves a minifig, and I'm gonna magically wipe its face off. This one's very easy, I just rotated its head. Okay, so my other Lego YouTube friend Sacred pulled up to my crib, so how about we let him do a magic trick? Okay, Sacred, do a magic trick with this globe.
I got you. I'm gonna make it disappear. So just turn around and wear these headphones.
Okay.
All right, he's listening to some music. He doesn't know what's about to happen. They call me Messi. The way I kick these balls.
Yo, the magic's done.
Oh, really? Oh, where's the ball at?
It disappeared. Magic.
Sheesh, that's fire. Good job. I
Yeah.
love that. I'm gonna get a snack.
Oh wait, let's go that way.
Here's a tiny Lego box with a blank pizza in the middle. And for this next magic trick, I'm about to become a professional chef because I'm gonna add different toppings to the pizza. I put pineapple just to make people mad. And by doing that, the pizza now has magically gained its toppings. And to do this magic trick, there's actually a sliding piece inside of the box that can switch between 2 different pizzas. I used a similar design to build this box where I can magically turn money into gold. Basically, when my hand covers the box, I let go of this piece which slides down. You can do this trick with any tile pieces. For this next magic trick, I stepped on a Lego so bad that it literally went through my foot. Wow, this is everyone's biggest nightmare. But if you move to the side, you can actually see that I used a few Lego pieces to clamp 2 separate plates to my foot. And if you want to, you can also do the same trick with a Lego minifig. There's a trick where if you take a plate, you can stick it between the studs of a brick. So if you attach another plate on the other side, it looks like it's stabbed through the brick. You can also make 2 Lego bricks look like they're passing through each other by building a fake one with a cutout. Or if you want to do something really illegal, you can sacrifice a Lego knife by cutting it in half and gluing it to the ends of a minifig head. Another trick is taking this boring looking flat Lego surface and using a special key, I can magically turn it into a colorful pyramid. Now to get this to work, I built different layers of Lego pieces surrounding each other and they all latch onto each other. Also, this is very satisfying. I also built this tiny Lego box with a drawer and basically you can put any item inside of it and it will disappear when you reopen it. But turns out to build this, I put a hole on the bottom of the drawer with a space beneath it for the item to fall down into. You can literally put anything you want in this box and it will disappear. For this next trick, I can take this round Lego plate and magically stick my finger through it. Now this one's actually really easy. There's a Lego piece that's basically identical to this, except it has a giant hole in the middle. So while you cover your finger, just replace it with the other one. Next, I built this tiny Lego road with different cars. Because for this next magic trick, I can take any one of the cars and make it magically move without touching it. Okay, this is probably the coolest trick because I actually used a magnet under the base plate to move it. And these magnets are actually official Lego pieces. I bought a pack of 10 of them off the internet last week. I used the same magnets to move a boat. That's gotta be the best pirate I've ever seen. And I also made this Lego piece disappear. I also bought this Lego Darth Vader off the internet for $10, but this one's special because there's actually a magnet in its leg, so let's try it out. Okay, it looks like it works. Darth Vader is known to force choke people, but now I can get my revenge and force choke him. For this trick, there's 2 minifigs in a box. When I push down on one, the other goes up. And if I reveal what's inside, there's actually a string attached to both of them. It's kind of creepy that they don't have arms. For this next trick, I'm gonna make this giant Lego man explode. Wow, that was pretty cool. Oh. This is a tiny Lego guillotine that's supposed to cut my finger off, but when I push down on the blade, it literally goes through my finger and nothing happens. But if you slow it down, you can see I used this L-shaped Lego piece to actually rotate around my finger. But if you do it fast enough, you're not gonna even notice. Okay, this next item that I built is this box with tiny plates inside. But if I put the lid back on, I can actually summon the pieces to join together to form one plate. Okay, again, this trick's pretty simple. When I put down the lid of the box, it actually actually covered the inside with this fake layer. Now, Lego actually makes these erasers for school. They look just like real Lego bricks, but they're flexible. So if you have these, you can prank your friends and make them think that you're taking a Lego brick and bending it. For this next trick, I'm gonna split a Lego rod in half. I built this small device that you put the rod in, and magically it will split into two. Now, this is all an illusion. I actually placed another rod inside, and these sliding pieces on top will let you see one at a time. Okay, now Karens are really annoying people, so I built a simple contraption to make them disappear. Basically, you put a Lego person in the box, and when you reopen it, it's completely empty. Okay, to do this one, there's a spot on the rear door where you place the minifig. That way the minifig can rotate with it. I also built this tiny Lego box. There's a hole on the top, but there's no hole on the bottom. But if I drop a ball into the box, it literally falls through. Turns out behind the box where you can't see, there's a piece that slides open and allows the ball to drop down. I also built this Lego wall that not only can you magically break in half, but you can also reconnect to find that there's now a hole in the middle. This one's simple. I just slid the pieces into a different spot. And now for the final magic trick. I can take a Lego knife and cut my hand, but the secret is to leave space in the knife to go around your hand. And I found the perfect pieces for these. I use these special plates with the rounded corner. And if you don't have these, you can do something very similar with an arch piece. Like I built this smaller knife that looks like it's cutting my finger. Thanks for watching. Go try some of these magic tricks on your mom, and I'll see you later.
Like a Lego, I can't disconnect. Turn my head around when I'm upset.
In this video, I'm going to be working my way around the world, taking iconic places from various continents and countries and rebuilding them in Lego. This is going to be a real challenge, but let's get it. Okay, so there's 7 continents and 195 countries around the world, so we got no time to waste. Let's start where I live, the United States of America. I have some Native American and cowboy minifigures, so how about we make something from the Wild West? Best example I can think of is the Grand Canyon, a giant rock formation that spans thousands of miles and has a river flowing through it. So to build this in Lego, I'll take a bunch of colors and layer them so it looks like an eroded cliff. On one side of the canyon, I'll add my Indians, and on the other side, I'll add my cowboys. And finally, we can use some transparent studs to form a river going through the middle. And just like that, our first iconic landmark is complete. Just above me is Canada, the country known for hockey, maple syrup, super nice people, and this hotel I found on the internet that's legit made of ice. Like, how the heck are you supposed to sleep in here? I have some transparent pieces, which I think will be perfect, so we can build some flooring, add a few walls, and then start throwing in some luxurious furniture to make one of the most oddly satisfying hotel rooms I've ever laid eyes on. And just below me is Mexico, known for its rich culture, delicious food, and Chichen Itza, which is an ancient ruin built by the Mayan people. Just like any pyramid, I'll start with a wide base and make it narrow towards the top. I also added staircases on each side with some grill pieces, and we can also add some miniature people using studs. And just like that, we have a micro-scale version of Chichen Itza. What about the Caribbean islands? It's a hotspot for warm weather, lush nature, and great sea life. I'll make a tropical beach using some blue pieces for water, tan pieces for sand, and green pieces for some grass. I designed my own palm tree using a 2-piece in the middle so it can bend like how palm trees do in real life. I also made a small hut, and for the roof, I used these pointy teeth pieces for hay. And lastly, I'll add some island people. Very Ooga Booga vibes. Okay, now it's time to journey our way down from North America to the continent of South America. In the giant country of Brazil is the city of Rio de Janeiro, and overlooking the city is Jesus. This is Christ the Redeemer, a large monument built on a hill. So to make it as a minifig, I'll use entirely gray pieces so it looks like stone. I used a minifigure head and hair piece, but his robe is really complicated, so I had to custom build that using some scrap parts. But what happens when I give him a bottle of water? Oh, wow. Just west of Brazil is the country of Peru, home to Machu Picchu, a gorgeous ancient city built in the mountains. I will go ahead and start with some landscaping, then add some miniature buildings using tiny tan pieces, and for the mountain right next to the city, I'll use a handful of slopes. We can also add more miniature people. And just like that, our city is completed. Literally in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, 2,000 miles off the coast of Chile, is Easter Island, a tiny island that has close to 1,000 of these stone monuments that look like if someone's head got stretched. To build one of these statues in Lego, I'm gonna use a ton of differently shaped parts, and after some building, I think I've achieved the right look for a face. So we've explored North and South America, but let's journey our way across the Atlantic Ocean to Europe, specifically the country of England. On the southern side of the island is the ancient rock formation known as Stonehenge, pretty much a bunch bunch of giant rocks that look like dominoes. So I'm gonna start with some landscaping that uses a sideways building technique. Then to make the rocks, I'm again going to use a sideways building technique. Finally, we can add some tourists staring at the rocks and taking pictures with their phone. I never thought that being next to a bunch of rocks could be such a flex, but it is. Next up on my list is Sweden. And what is Sweden famous for? Yep, IKEA, the giant furniture store. I'm gonna use some blue and yellow parts, which are the company colors. It took forever, but I also made an IKEA sign and also a Swedish flag. We can slap those on and turn the building around because for the inside, we can include a showroom with some displayed furniture, a cafeteria where someone is eating Swedish meatballs, very bussin', and downstairs we can add a checkout station with some customers ready to buy furniture. IKEA did not pay me to do this, by the way. How about we make the Eiffel Tower, a 1,000-foot monument built in Paris, France over 100 years ago. It looks really complicated, but I'll start from the ground up using a ton of hinge pieces to achieve the right shaping of the tower, and after 2 hours of building, I think we have something that looks close enough to the real thing. And that actually finishes our 10th build. Germany is another country on our list, and something I love about Germany are the houses, so let's make one in Lego. For the first floor, I'll add a kitchen and dining room, then add some stone walls. For the second floor, we can add a bedroom, office, and then add more walls, a roof, then finish the outside with some flowers and a walkway. You guys are lucky because you got to see me make that in 10 seconds, but in reality, it took me probably 3 hours to make. How about we make something from the country of Greece, known for its philosophy, sus statues, the Olympics, and the Parthenon, a marble temple built over 2,000 years ago for the Greek goddess Athena. I'm gonna build a section of it, so let's use some cylinder bricks for the pillars, add a roof on top, and a few Greek dudes. I'm really tired right now, so let's move on. Next up is Spain, famous for its bullfighting, getting chased by bulls, and this giant Spanish fortress named the Alhambra. I started with tower number 1, which slopes upwards from the bottom, and at the top I added a Spanish guard. I then built tower number 2, but slightly differently, and added a second Spanish guard. And just like that, we have created a section of the Alhambra. You gotta roll the R's in Spain. Last European country on my list is Italy, where a lot of architecture, art, and my spaghetti comes from. How about we recreate Venice, a city built on small islands separated by canals. I'll go ahead and make the facade of a building. I also made a custom door, then I kept building, adding a balcony for the second floor. Right on top, I added a roof using some slopes, but right outside, I also added a bridge leading to another dock, and I stuck some plates underneath so minifigs can walk over it and not fall into the water. Then our Venice house was finished. Now let's move on to the continent of Africa. Starting with the country of Egypt, how about we build one of the Great Pyramids of Giza? So let's start with one layer of bricks, then continue building up, making each layer smaller and smaller until we have a complete pyramid. So far it looks pretty basic, so let's throw in some smaller parts to add detail. And lastly, let's add a few minifigures and a camel. Right off the eastern coast of Africa is Madagascar. No, not the movie, the country. The trees are super thick, and according to Google, they're called baobab trees. Instead of using 1x1 cylinder bricks or even 2x2 cylinder bricks, I'm gonna straight up use 4x4 cylinder bricks to make the trunk of the tree. And up top, we can add some branches, add some landscaping around the tree, and now I think King Julian will be very proud of me. Okay, so the most popular country for African wildlife is Kenya, located just between Madagascar and Egypt. So let's make a simple wildlife safari build with a few acacia trees, tons of animals like an elephant, couple of monkeys, ostrich, and we can also have a group of tourists with binoculars looking from a car. Right on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe is Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. To make a small version of it, I used transparent studs in different shades of blue so the water looks like it's actually falling, added some cliffs on the sides, and also added some miniature people on the edge like what people do in real life at this waterfall. I'm getting anxiety just watching this, like please don't do that. Now, it is time to explore the continent of Asia, so let's start with the tiny western country of Jordan. Within this country is Petra, an ancient city with buildings legit built into the side of a cliff, kind of like what I do in Minecraft. But to make one in Lego, I'm gonna use a ton of round bricks for columns, then just keep making it look fancy by adding small details and these statues all in one color so it blends in and looks like stone. Let's also add some dirt in front and Indiana Jones, and our ancient building is completed. Within the United Arab Emirates is the city of Dubai, home to the tallest skyscraper in the world by the name of the Burj Khalifa. I'll make a micro version of it using transparent pieces layered with gray pieces and slowly take away chunks of it as I build up. And that's actually our 20th build down. How about we make something from the country of India? Its most iconic landmark is probably the Taj Mahal, an immense mausoleum built in the 1600s by order of Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife. And I'll design my own miniature version of it. I used a lot of arches, cylinder bricks, dome pieces, and even these candlesticks for miniature towers. Now let's journey our way to China, and something that fascinates me is the Great Wall of China that spans over 13,000 miles. I noticed that the wall isn't straight. It bends a lot and goes up and down, so I want my wall to be the same. To do that, I'll use angled plates to connect different segments together. To make the walls, I'll get a bunch bunch of custom bricks together that use a lot of small parts for detail, and from there it was just a ton of tedious work bringing up the walls, and I also added some points of elevation to make it look more interesting, and we can also add some Chinamen ready to defend the wall. Let's make something from Mother Russia. How about St. Basil's Cathedral from Moscow, the capital city? Laying down the first few pieces, I'm realizing how complicated this actually looks. All I know is that we need a load of colors. Now it's time to add all the balls. Looks good, but seriously, this was the most accurate version I could get, and the balls on top look like candy, so I kind of want to eat them. How about we travel to the country of Japan and build one of the traditional temples? I'll start with the first floor, making a deck and a single room. For the roof, I went ahead and used a hinge technique so that it bends at an angle and is very Japanese looking. I then went ahead adding more stories till it looked really tall and cool, ended it with a final roof, then threw in some ninjas because ninjas come from Japan. Now it's time to move to Australia, aka the land down under. I forgot, but because of that, we do need to rotate the screen, so there you go. An iconic landmark is probably the Sydney Opera House. I'm gonna use some tan pieces for the base, and these special roofing pieces for the little white things that stick out. I don't know what they're called. And just like that, our Sydney Opera House is complete. And finally, the last continent on our list, which is also a country, it's Antarctica. I'm going to be honest, but there's not really much to see here, just a lot of penguins. But penguins are pretty dope, so let's make 2 of them using some black and white pieces and some scuba diver flippers for their feet. After watching several travel documentaries and reading numerous Wikipedia pages to learn of these countries, I learned that the world is actually a pretty big and cool place. I know we got viewers all over the world, and I'm sorry if I didn't make your country, but hopefully I captured a lot of the highlights. Comment below what country you're from. Thank you for watching. In this video, I'm going to take famous people and recreate them as custom Lego minifigures, and along the way, I'm going to make some custom Lego sets to go with them. Let's go. So pretty much how this all started was a week ago. I thought to myself, what if I took famous movie stars, musicians, YouTubers, and other random celebrities and turned them into Lego minifigures? So I quickly speed ran to Instagram to gain some ideas from you people, and we had a ton of good responses. Well, I mean, most of you guys did. One of the most popular responses was Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock. He's even a skin in Fortnite. Bruh. So let's recreate him in Lego. Oh wait, that's not The Rock I was thinking of. I'm gonna use this headpiece from a random Jurassic Park minifig, and I also want to recreate him in this picture. So it looks like he's wearing a white tank top, so I'm gonna make that using this torso from a ghost, replace his arms with this gingerbread man torso, and finally slap on a pair of shorts, grab some skateboard wheels, and give him some weights to lift. Boom, Dwayne Johnson The Rock made in Lego. A lot of you guys wanted me to make Will Smith. I want to recreate his look from one of my favorite childhood movies, which is Men in Black. So let's give him a classy suit and tie. And for his headpiece, I'm going to use this headpiece from a Batman Cyborg minifig because I feel like it fits best for his facial features. I'm also going to give him some black hair, and we can also give him a blaster so he can shoot down any extraterrestrial creatures.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
And since we made Will Smith, who am I gonna make next? Yep, Chris Rock, who voiced the zebra in Madagascar. I'm also gonna give him a suit and tie, but to change things up, I'm gonna give him the headpiece from Finn in Lego Star Wars, and I'm also gonna give him some coiled hair. But even with these 2 minifigs together, I still feel like there's something incomplete, so I'm gonna go ahead and recreate the iconic Will Smith slap. Now let's talk about famous singers. One singer whose music has never given me up or let me down is Rick Astley. In his music video, he's wearing a black and white striped shirt, and after searching through my torsos, the closest resembling one I could find is this one that belongs on a mime. I'm gonna go ahead and replace his arms with some of these in black, throw on some tan pants, and I'm gonna give him the headpiece from Ant-Man. And finally, the same hair that I used on Gordon Ramsay, and boom, we have something close enough to looking like Rick Astley. Another talented singer from the 80s is Michael Jackson. I want to recreate his look from the Billie Jean music video, but the closest thing I could find is this torso. I'm going to give him a headpiece from a Harry Potter minifigure, throw on some long hair and black pants, and it looks like we have a completed MJ. All we got to do now is attempt to make a stop motion of him moonwalking. Okay, I'm going to roll through this footage and see how this looks. Not great, but not terrible. I'll take it. Next, I want to make Ryan Reynolds, who played as Deadpool and also starred in the movie Free Guy. He's also a Fortnite skin.
Have a great day.
So for his hair, I'm going to use this wavy one in dark brown, and for his head, I'm going to use this happy-looking face. I want to give him a blue button-up shirt from Free Guy, so since I committed an illegal building technique last week and the cops arrested me, I'm going to get my revenge and steal this guy's torso. There's a cool life hack where you can actually take a school eraser and rub off the printing on a Lego piece, so I'm going to go ahead and do that for the side pocket and the badge, and boom, we have a simple-looking blue button-up shirt. Then we're gonna give him some tan legs, skin tone arms, and it looks like we have a fully complete Ryan Reynolds minifigure. Okay, so we talked about celebrities, but who's an extremely wealthy one? That leads me to answer Elon Musk. Yep, the Tesla guy. So let's give him some casual looking clothes like this Harry Potter torso, and for his head, I'm also gonna give him this one from Han Solo, and lastly, we can give him a parted hairstyle. Okay, so we made Elon Musk, and also gas is kind of expensive, so to go with him, let's make a Tesla. I'm gonna go ahead and make one in white, throw in some slopes to keep it extra smooth looking as a Tesla should be, and boom, here's a custom Tesla to go with Elon. Okay, now how about we make some famous YouTubers? And since he hit 100 million subscribers, let's make Mr. Beast. This might be a little tricky, because I can't find a single headpiece that looks like him. But I did find this YouTuber who made a printable cutout PDF of his face, and it's compatible with the Lego minifig. So let's go ahead and print this out and put it on. It looks a little weird, but it works. Also, shout out to Hermit Brick, I'll link his channel below. And since he's Mr. Beast, let's make a quick speed build of him giving away money to a random person. Now I want to make one of my personal favorite YouTubers, and it's Gideon, who's a vlogger and prankster. He wears a do-rag, so let's go ahead and steal this hat from a pirate. They don't have one in black, so I'm just gonna have to finesse a dark green one and use this $1 acrylic paint from Walmart to paint it. Okay, that's better. And I found this headpiece, which has a beard, so I think it should work well. And of course, we gotta give him the professional Raw Dogger shirt. And boom, everyone spam W in the chat. Okay, now it's time for a quick bonus round. The first one isn't an actual celebrity, but it's a famous character from a childhood movie, Shrek. Making him's gonna be a real challenge, but I'll give it my shot. There's a lot of weird concepts of him online, and I found some of these to be pretty cursed, so I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to make one with pure official Lego pieces. The closest headpiece I could find for him was this one, which goes on Killer Moth from a collectible Batman minifig. The antennas kind of look like ears, I guess. For his face, I couldn't find anything good, so let's just give him this light green one. And for his outfit, I'll use Jar Jar Binks' torso, which kind of looks like his ogre vest. I'll also slap on some green hands to match his skin color, and I want to make the iconic outhouse, so cue the music. And boom, comment below if this should become a Happy Meal. Okay, now going back to actual celebrities, I got a lot of y'all wanting me to make Johnny Depp, who played as Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Speaking of Captain Jack Sparrow, let's go ahead and borrow his headpiece to use for Johnny Depp. Give him a classy suit and tie, and throw on this bund-up hairpiece to match him in this photo. Now, if he became a Happy Meal toy, we'd also need a custom set to go with him, so how about we recreate him in court? My spider senses are really starting to tingle for this next one because I want to make Tom Holland. I mean, he's Spider-Man, guys. So let's go ahead and grab this minifigure, remove his head, and replace his headpiece with Marty McFly from Back to the Future. Lastly, I'll throw on this wavy dark brown hair, and boom, we have Tom Holland. Since he's Spider-Man, here's a string piece to resemble some webs that he can swing on. And to go with Tom Holland, here's Zendaya. Let's also make Keanu Reeves. He's in a ton of cool movies like The Matrix, Toy Story, and John Wick. I want to make him from John Wick, so let's give him a formal suit and tie. For his head, I found this one from a Star Wars X-Wing pilot. Lastly, we can give him some long hair, a pistol, and boom, we have a completed Keanu Reeves minifigure as John Wick. A lot of you guys wanted me to make Kanye West, who's a famous rapper. He looks like a Roblox character in this photo, so let's go ahead and make him. I'm gonna make his outfit using regular bricks and some plates, and for his head, I'm gonna use this one that belongs to a minifigure from the Lego Batman movie. Here's our custom Kanye West minifig. And before we go to our last famous person, here's a few honorable mentions. Abraham Lincoln, William Shakespeare, Steve Jobs, Stephen Hawking, Minecraft Steve, Steve Carell, and lastly, DaBaby. Let's go! But for our final famous person, we're gonna do a famous chef. And no, I'm not talking about that one rat that sits on the top of your head and pulls hair out of your scalp. I'm talking about the famous Gordon Ramsay, owner of Hell's Kitchen and judge on several competitive cooking shows.
Where's the lamb sauce?
For his torso, I'm gonna go ahead and use this one from a Han Solo minifig. I think it fits perfectly for a formal chef outfit. Let's also give him Han Solo's head, because this one looks like it just tasted a horrendous dish.
Absolutely gross.
I went digging through my parts and found light brown hair, which I think fit really well. And to make him truly look like a chef, let's give him a pan and a bottle of wine, and bon appetit, people. To make a set for this minifig, let's put a table in front of him and a contestant that can present him a dish to judge.
Congratulations. On the worst dish in this competition so far.
Okay guys, if you're in touch with any of these celebrities, maybe tell them to slide up on this video. Also, comment below who your favorite celebrity was. Thank you for watching. Don't commit any illegal building techniques. In this video, we're gonna be looking at several satisfying things that you can do with Lego. Let's go. So our first satisfying trick is this small cube, and when I take it apart, you can see how it's made. I used 4 2x2 plates and 4 of these 1x2 panels for the outside of the cube, and to connect them all together, I used a singular 2x2 tile. When you're finished, you have a perfectly shaped cube, and Minecraft Steve approves. I believe this is an illegal building technique, so be checking your window to make sure the cops aren't outside when you do this. You can also replicate the same cube instead using a giant lipstick piece and a plant element. Another satisfying trick, well, this isn't really a trick, but just plucking the leaves on these small plant pieces. It actually sounds like ASMR. Now before you fall asleep, here's another trick that I've shown on the channel before, and it's a bendable plate trick. So to do it, you need to take a net piece and sandwich it in between 2 layers of plates, and to keep it all held together, you're gonna also need to use some studs. And when you're finished, you have this really trippy looking surface that you can use to make cool creations like an ocean.
Let me dry the boot.
This trick is so satisfying that I feel like I can die peacefully like Master Oogway. Now, base plates are a great tool to use when building, but I've always noticed how thin and flimsy they are. And you also can't connect anything to the bottom of them, like what the heck? Well, they're actually so thin that they're equivalent in thickness to a normal plate when you put them over studs. So essentially, you can sandwich them perfectly between 2 plates. Another satisfying trick is pressing down a bunch of plates and hearing the sound. Ooh, that sounded nice. So here's a bunch of 8x16 plates, and on the count of 3, I'm gonna step on them. 3, 2, 1. Quick push-ups. This thing is like solid plastic. It's so dense. Don't get me wrong, that sounded amazing, but think of all the hard work I'm gonna have to do now taking these apart. Okay, here's a trick that involves some bricks, and it's another bendable one. But this one's pretty simple because all you need are bricks and plates to make this. Pretty much you build a bunch of layers like this that are 1 stud wide, and you connect them all together with some 1x2 bricks. You can make it as long as you want, and the longer you make it, the more bendy it will be. This trick is so satisfying that at this point, you might as well just click out of this video. Actually, no, don't do it. Okay, now time for a quick little speed run. Here's 10 quick and easy Lego tricks that require under 10 pieces. Here's a simple trick where you can take a 1x3 arch and put a small 1x1 slope underneath it. There's absolutely no gap between the two, and they fit perfectly snug. You can also take 4 of these eyelet bricks and connect them all together into a square. From here, you can build on 4 different sides. Next, you can take a bunch of these flat studs and put them inside a large brick. If the brick is transparent, it looks extra cool. Maybe you can use this as like a modern decoration in a house, or it just looks like a small aquarium. You can also make simple columns using 4 tiles that are 1 stud in width and squeezing them into the inner edges of a 2x2 plate. From there, you can add 1 more 2x2 plate on the other end to hold it all together. This next trick requires only 2 parts, some sort of plate that's 3x3 or larger, and a cylinder brick with these jagged edges. If you're a normal compliant citizen, you'll likely put the 2 together like this, but what if I told you there's a more savage way to connect them? All you gotta do is angle the cylinder brick 45 degrees, push it down, then boom, it can go between the studs on a plate. This next trick is really random but pretty poggers. If you take 2 eyelet bricks, put them together, and add a plate, you'll have something that is perfectly 1 brick thick. On top of that, you're able to build on 2 different sides. This next trick is totally illegal. If you take 2 of these modified bricks, you can face them in opposite directions with a 1x2 tile. Maybe you can use it to make a bench for a minifig. Keep in mind though, you'll likely ruin your tile doing this. Please like the video because I'm risking myself going to jail just to make entertaining content for you guys. Here's another random trick where you can sandwich 2 arches between a cylinder brick using some of these modified plates. It's perfectly flush and there's no gap. You can possibly use this to make some cool flooring design for a house. You can also take a Technic plate and put the flower pieces in between the studs into the holes, and they don't fall out. I also wanted to somehow find a way to use a hot dog, aka Glizzy, in this video, so here's a simple trick where you can make a crossbow for your minifigs. It also uses some of these wrench looking pieces. Another satisfying trick is taking one of these plates with a lip and putting them inside a modified brick with a groove. In this case, you have a cool sliding mechanism. Okay, so for this next trick, I did a quick speed run to target because the next trick requires Duplo pieces.
Wow.
Yep, that's right. You can legit connect a regular brick on top of a Duplo brick. The Lego company purposefully wanted them to be compatible, and I never thought I'd be buying a Duplo set at the age of 19. And I'm not really sure what to do with these pieces now either. Another satisfying trick is taking 4 2x2 plates, connecting them together, then adding a 2x2 tile on top. In this case, you have a perfect cube that no matter what direction you face it in, it still fits inside a 2x2 stud space perfectly. If you have some of these small 1x1 slopes, you can do some really cool artwork with them. It's extremely tedious, but if you're patient enough, you can loosely place them down to design some cool patterns. Just keep in mind though, it's super fragile, so if you tilt it the wrong way, you can like lose all your progress. Okay, so now it was time to go onto Instagram and ask what you thought were some satisfying Lego tricks, and we had some good answers. Well, most of you guys had good answers, but let's check out some of the popular ones. Digging through a bin of studs. Wow, feels like I'm massaging my hand. Lego pizza that bends down like the cheese is dripping. I'm not sure if I agree with the no pineapple part though. You can make a cube out of 8 headlight bricks. You can stack ice cream pieces. Splashing studs in a pool. Wow, that sounded so nice. Putting on a sticker perfectly. Making color gradients is also really satisfying. There's also these really cool stop motions I've seen of people cutting food, and it just turns into Lego. From the Lego Minecraft sets, there's apparently these magma cubes that split into layers, and they're apparently super satisfying. I don't actually own one of these, so I followed some instructions online and built one myself. That's very satisfying. Someone mentioned an infinity cube. Here's one I built that uses some hinges, plates, and tiles. Pretty much how an infinity cube works, it's like a little fidget toy. You keep rotating these pieces, and it just goes on forever and ever. Wow. Apparently this person wants to be in the video. Bruh. This person told me to cut handcuff pieces and use them as watches on minifigs. Now my minifigs can be all iced out in that drip.
Drip too hard, don't stand too close.
Using a clone antenna and a 2x2 stud with mini bar hole as a door handle. I actually never knew this trick was possible, and I've got to say, I'm in love with it. Punch a Lego person's face. Okay, here's a final bendable trick you can do. This one is a bendable wall, which uses 1x2 plates and studs. But apparently you can do the same trick, but with only bricks. It just needs to be a lot longer. And after a lot of building, I had a finished product. Let's see if it works. There you go. It actually works. Here's a cool square you can make with smooth edges and a hollow square in the middle. Just take 4 of these brackets, connect them all together, then finish the edges off with some tiles. And here's a cool trick you can do with bricks that have studs on the sides, plates, and jumper plates. Pretty much you can build a surface that will slowly change in length, and it looks really clean. Okay, so I saved this one for last because it's probably my favorite trick of all, but it involves some really interesting physics. Wow. Here's a Lego built Tenscrity structure that uses some chain pieces to make it look like a part of this build is floating in the air. If you look closely though, it makes sense why this floats, because one side is hanging off and putting a force on the other side, which is being held down. So basically all the forces balance out. At this point, you've likely reached nirvana and found inner peace from all these satisfying tricks, or the FBI could be outside your window right now from doing all the illegal ones. But comment below what your favorite trick is. Give this video a like because I did have to spend 5 embarrassing minutes in self-checkout buying a Duplo set. It's okay though, I just made up the excuse that I was buying it for a younger sibling. Hope y'all enjoyed, thanks for watching, and take care my broskies. Coming next week. I have like illegal building techniques with you. Do you want to like build a Lego world with me? Like, can I copy your number maybe? Oh, there's a spider! There's a spider! Ah!
We had a good time, but we're heading out.
Today, I'm gonna build 8 secret bases in Lego, each one in a different place you wouldn't expect, to see which one will be the hardest to find. So anyway, let's go. Before me is a very exquisite looking, luxurious room. But what if I told you there's actually 4 secret entrances that lead to a completely different room behind it? I'll give you a second to guess. Okay, well, if you guess the painting on the wall, you're correct. Or if you guess this fireplace, this wardrobe, and this bookshelf, you're also correct. So behind this wall, we have a perfect place to build our first secret Lego base. And I'm gonna turn it into a secret vault to put rare, valuable items like money, gold, diamonds, Lego game money, and V-Bucks. We can even hide secret items in here, like secret weapons, the Krabby Patty formula, and Victoria's Secret. What? Nice. If I ever did an illegal building technique, I could hide here and the cops can't find me. Okay, for this next Lego base, I'm gonna build one in a tree, but not a Lego tree because I'm gonna put this base in an actual real tree. Okay, I attached this large platform, so now we have plenty of space. Now we're ready to build the actual base. So I made this small house with a bedroom, a dining room, a kitchen, and a small living room with a couch. That way someone can actually live here, including this ant, by the way. And for the outside, I made this wall using wooden planks, and I built a hay roof. Let's see how strong this building is. Nice. And because this treehouse is so high, we need a way to keep people from falling off and dying. So surrounding the platform, I added this large wooden fence. But to make this the ultimate treehouse, I also added a giant suspension bridge between two branches. I also added a giant swing so people can view the forest beneath. And finally, I used dental floss to build a giant zip line and this handlebar that a minifig can hold on to. Okay, that's our second base finished, and if I were a minifigure, I would actually want to live here. Oh yeah, this isn't my tree, by the way.
Hey, what are you doing in my yard?
For this next secret base, I'm gonna put it underground. No, like actually underneath the ground. So to build it, I'm gonna use this large base plate. Okay, we're ready to build the base, but this time I actually have help. So get to work, boys. So I built some sturdy walls with 4 separate rooms, and my plan is to turn this into a secret survival bunker you would use during an apocalypse. So for room number 1, I built a small storage unit with guns, bottles of water, medical supplies, and food. For room 2, I converted it into a bedroom with 2 bunk beds which can sleep 4 people, and this wardrobe to put clothes. For room 3, I built this indoor garden which will allow us to grow different fruits and vegetables to help us grow our own food and survive. And finally, for room 4, I built a small entertainment room with a couch, television, this small mini fridge full of soda, and I even built a complete computer setup with this gaming PC and chair. Wow, I actually like this base so much that I actually wouldn't mind if the world ended. That way I could live here. So now that this base is complete, we're ready to take it outside and put it underground. And to get in and out of the base, I even built this small hatch on top. Nice, you can't even see it. Okay, so we made a Lego base underground, but what about underwater? So, yep, that's what we're about to do next. So I bought this fish tank and filled it with water to simulate the ocean. And this will make the perfect place to put our base. But since this base will be surrounded by water, we need a way to keep it dry. So I bought this clear container, and my plan is to turn this into a small home that someone could live in. So I built a bed, a dining room with some freshly made pancakes, and I even added this small living room with a couch and TV. Okay, there's no more space to build, so now let's try putting it in the water. But because this build has air, it's gonna try floating to the top, and we don't want that, so to stick it to the bottom, I bought this special putty, which apparently should work underwater. Please work, please work. Yes. Yes. Nice, this looks like an expensive hotel that I'd spend my life savings to stay at. Okay, I was recently watching SpongeBob and I noticed this house which is literally under a rock. So that gives me the idea for this next base. So the first step is to build a giant rock that the base will go underneath. Okay, I built this giant rock out of bricks and this will make a good roof for the house. Okay, now we're ready to build the actual house. So underneath the rock, I added this bed, a dining room, a living room with a couch and TV, and this small kitchen. Nice, this guy is living under a rock. No, like actually. And because it's a rock, it should be the most secure base in the world. So let's test that theory. Here we go. Okay, never mind. Another good spot to put a secret base is in the middle of the Arctic surrounded by snow. But I'm in Florida and there's no snow here, so I went ahead and bought some fake snow off Amazon. And my plan is to build a top secret Arctic military base. So I built 3 rooms which we can fill with essential things that every soldier could need. So for this first room, I added beds so they can rest, and this small kitchen so they can cook and prepare food. In the second room, I turned it into a small hospital so the soldiers can revive themselves after battle. This guy needs knee surgery. And this third room is so top secret you need Face ID to get inside because it's a locker full of weapons, armor, and it's a place where the soldiers can plan their next attack. I think they're gonna go to war with Mega Blocks. And to cover and protect the base, I built this glass roof. That way we can still look inside. So now that our base is finished, we're ready to add it in the snow. And that way the soldiers can get in and out of the base. I built this small hatch which can open and lead to some stairs going down. My next plan is to build a secret base inside a cave. So I spent a couple hours building this large cliff, but as you can see, I left a giant cave in the middle, which will make the perfect spot to put our base. And because it's a cave, this will make a perfect place for Batman to live. So I added a locker where he can keep all his different suits. I also added a small gym so he can train to fight, his weapons, lots of money since he's a billionaire, his sidekick Robin, and his butler Alfred. Okay, our base is finished, but to make this feel even more like a cave, I bought this special machine off Amazon, which apparently is supposed to simulate a realistic waterfall. Yo, let's go. It actually works. Okay, I thought the waterfall was gonna cover the base, but you can still see through it. But it makes a great shield so people can't get in. And now, I have one final idea for a secret Lego base. This is my couch, but what's special about it is the cushion actually lifts, and underneath it's completely empty. So this will make a perfect place to put one. Okay, I added base plates inside, so now we're ready to build. And my plan is to build a giant indoor Lego theme park with different attractions. So the first thing I built is this Lego roller coaster, which goes in an infinite loop. And because this ride is so extreme, I added some flames and this garbage can, because after riding this, you're definitely gonna need it. And because this ride is so cool, the wait time for it is 1 hour. This next attraction is a Lego trampoline park. So I used these net pieces to build the actual trampolines, which are very bouncy, and I even added this foam pit. That way people can practice their flips and not break their neck. For this third attraction, I'm going to build a small indoor water park. So I built this pool so people can swim, and surrounding the pool, I added multiple slides and this small diving board. I also built this Lego rock climbing wall where 2 people can race each other to the top to see who's faster, and I even added these safety harnesses so they don't fall off and die. And for the final attraction, I built a small go-kart track which has lots of turns and goes in a loop. Wow, okay, this Lego base is finished, and not gonna lie, but this is probably the most random thing I've ever made. Comment your favorite base. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next one.
On my ops, switch up. Good cop, bad cop. Run it back like free play. Hit my dance like TikTok. Might have missed a step. Can't get the connection. I be running up the Lego studs. I be flexing.